And Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
and tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Well, here we go, and it's another late game that went into overtime. Oh my. So I do have to say, if you had any curiosity when it comes to pollsters, this race, the polls are spot on, right?
A little bit, yeah.
You don't think they're a little bit spot on?
They were saying it was such a dead heat, but in the late hours, early morning hours, it seemed to be a pull-away thing.
Well, it isn't. I mean, it's still undecided, and we're Wednesday morning. It's still now. I would expect Trump to win. He needs one more state, but the fact that each of these states are so close, and these swing states are so close that they can't call them on Tuesday night. That's exactly what the polls called for.
Yeah.
So, and it's exactly what I said yesterday, but it would, depending on where these swing states go, it could look like it's not close. I mean, we don't know yet. They'll have to figure all of this out in these swing states. But it could, in terms of the Electoral College, it could look like it's not as close as like 2000 was. But at the end of the day, close. Very close. The fact that we can't name the president on Tuesday night, close. And that's really what the polls called for. It'll be interesting to see where the popular vote is. My guess is the popular vote is the same thing. It's very, very close. So basically, half of the country is going to be really happy today. Half of the country is going to be really not happy. And maybe I would expect we know today Trump needs to pull out one more swing state and he wins.
Yeah, and then the popular vote was a little bit of a shocker, even to me. 5 million is the margin now, but with California being only half reported, she can make up a lot of the popular vote in the state of California very quickly. But I am still a bit shocked.
But even 5 million is nothing in a country this size.
Correct.
I mean, it's close. I mean, obviously, could you imagine? Couple 100,000, which or being as close as it was with Bush Gore, but this is close. When we go into Wednesday morning and we don't really officially know who the president is, that's amazing. And then we go beyond, especially with today's technology. You would think we'd be able to get the results a little faster than we ever could. And then it looks like the Senate, of course, will go to Republicans, and the House most likely will as well, although that's still a race.
It is. The big race for us here locally, I definitely don't think many people were surprised with the redistricting that John Mannion won handily. Probably a lot of that had to do with the Onondaga County vote.
I'm sure. I haven't seen the breakdown of Oneida County yet.
Williams maybe had a slight edge in Oneida County, but that's only a very a marginal portion of the district. So
it's the second. It's the second most populous part of the district. Yeah. Onondaga County obviously carries the weight in the 22nd now, as Utica and Rome have split. Nobody expected Elise Stefanik to be in any trouble. She wasn't. Here's an Brian Miller wins easily. Joe Griffo wins easily. We expected that. And then there's the race between Marianne Buttonshawn and Esposito. Buttonshawn is in the lead by a couple of hundred votes right now. And that's with 100% in. I'm assuming, are there any absentees that still have to be counted? I think everything's been counted and it's razor thin.
Yeah.
So that means they will go through most likely some sort of a recount, and they'll go ballot. It may be a while before we officially know if Marianne wins. But I got to tell you, I think there are a lot of people that thought that Esposito was going to walk away with this.
Yeah, it's very close, at least as far as Oneida County's numbers here. This is from the Board of Elections from Oneida County. Marianne Buttonshawn with
it is only
lead.
Oneida County.
Yeah, the slight lead.
It's Utica and Rome. So those numbers are the numbers.
The numbers: 22,372 to Buttonshawn, 21,929 to Esposito, with 26 write-in votes. Who were the write-in votes? That's the thing.
So I got to say, this is one of those that we talked about. There was not a single element of education on part of Esposito during this race. They ran 2 or 3 commercials that were negative commercials, and they ran them over the kind of cartoonish commercials against Marianne Buttonshawn, trying to tie her to the governor, and they ran them over and over and over. There was not I said this yesterday, there wasn't a single commercial that educated people on who Esposito was. Why should you like Esposito? Why should you make a connection with Esposito versus just basically voting party line? I want to vote for somebody new or against somebody. And now it's close. I mean, Esposito could probably still pull this out. No winner has been declared. But I wonder what would have happened if at some point we were hearing more about who she was. In fact, we struggled to get her on the radio.
Yeah, I think we talked to her twice. I think we talked to her once in studio.
This last month, we've not been able to get her.
We have not been able to get her. We talked to her once in studio and once at the Joe Time in Rome. And that's about it.
Both were positive.
Yeah, I thought she was a nice person. We had a good conversation. But,
whereas Marianne, the sitting Assemblywoman, we were able to get her whenever. Sometimes Marianne was here and we didn't even expect her to be here. So
she'd come from working out and just pop in.
She'd pop in, and so you wonder what it would have been had there been a little bit of education there.
Yeah.
The rest of it, the Senate will go to Republicans. They'll have control. In all likelihood, we're looking at Trump, a Republican-held Senate, and a Republican-held House, which will be pretty much razor thin, however.
Yes.
But there you go. It's going to be Trump supporters and Republicans are going to get what they want. Now, where does the country go? And there's no COVID to get in the way this time. Where does the country go under? You're right. Maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. Maybe I just jinxed us. Your comments, you want to get in on this, 315-736-0186. Coming up, we'll speak with Congressman-elect John Mannion, who is celebrating his victory over the 22nd Congressional District over Brandon Williams. That one we kind of felt like wasn't... I kind of felt that Mannion was going to win that somewhat handily. I don't know that I expected a margin of victory like this, though.
Well, a DCCC, or whoever the organization that was funding or providing funds for the campaign, pulled a lot of it. About 2-3 weeks to go?
Well, that was actually a PAC that was going to spend about $750,000 in support of John Mannion, and it was a science PAC. So they're an organization that really tries to lobby congressional members to vote in ways that favor their scientific agenda.
Yes,
and they pulled the money away, saying they felt that this was no longer a toss-up. This was no longer a competitive race. Turns out their inside polling was pretty right.
And another person that was able to take advantage of the redistricting from Albany or from the people in New York State that made those decisions was Josh Riley against Mark Molinaro. Surprising victory. I think that's been called.
If not, overnight it was not. It's tight, but I'm surprised Molinaro is on the short end of that stick.
I am too. Yeah.
There's another race that I think is interesting that we actually had Yakavazi and Dan Enya, both
third ward coroner,
both on, and that is within just a couple of votes. So I believe, other than a challenge, Yakavazi is going to win by maybe 4 or 5 votes. Think about that.
And they say your vote. Some people say your vote doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess I do understand that if you're voting for president in New York State, right?
Although even New York was, and that was kind of a theme in a lot of the coverage from all the networks last night, was some of the margins narrowing from Biden's victory in 2020, as far as bigger states like New York and others.
This should have been a blowout, and I'm going to take this on because the country is so tight. It should have been a blowout. And any other, looking through history, when after an incumbency, usually the other party walks in. But this was a unique race. Obviously, you had Harris coming in, Biden stepping down, and then you had this very controversial figure who was formerly president. So all bets were off in this race. And boy, look at it now. Here's the coroner numbers. Are you ready?
Yes.
Right now, as of the Herkimer, this was 100% in. Akavazi with 4,211 votes. And Dan Enya with 4,159. So that's pretty close.
Yeah, very close.
And it'll be a handful. It won't be 4 or 5, but certainly a handful of votes. It's just crazy. Any others that you were looking for in there? Let me go to...
Well, the Brian Miller race was not close. He handily defeated Adrian Martini, the Democrat
I don't think
challenger.
there was a surprise there.
No,
21,000. We had her on yesterday. I was really surprised that she had a tough time answering any policy questions. And in fact, one of them was, I really don't know. It's something I'm going to have to look into.
Yeah.
Well, it's election day.
Well, get in there and figure it out.
You might want to figure that out. So Brian winning easily. Joe Griffo winning easily. This was a landslide. 71% of the vote for Griffo. I don't think there's... I don't see there being any big surprise there. And it is interesting, too, because Brian Miller's district goes down into Oneonta. And you have to think that if you're from Oneonta or down that way, she's someone who you know, and maybe you want to be, I don't know, maybe you want to have somebody from your community who's representing you. Although Brian Miller's down there all the time.
Yeah, he's gone through all the shoes to prove it.
He certainly has. But 64-36 is the final vote there, but a big win for Brian Miller. Scott in Kirkville on the phone line here right now.
Wow, this is early for Scott.
It is early. He's up because, you could bet on who was going to win the presidency.
Yes, you could.
And I believe, as we said yesterday, Trump had a slight advantage. Vegas had it right, it looks like. Scott, good morning.
Morning, yep. I called President Trump and gave him my concession.
You did, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yep. I offered to be his press secretary. I'd like to take on Acosta and Ryan Noble. I think that would be reality TV at its best. Must-see TV.
It would be must-see TV.
Good.
There's no doubt about it.
It's interesting that, it was interesting how Trump's campaign, he won, obviously, but I would have done it a little more differently. Just let her words defeat her. I would just play back everything from 2019, including that debate where basically she ripped Biden, called him an old man racist, and all of a sudden she's the vice president candidate because Bernie Sanders was going to be the candidate. They didn't think Biden could win. In fact, he didn't win Iowa and New Hampshire, if you remember. And all of a sudden they got nervous about Bernie Sanders being the Democrat nominee, so they basically paid for everybody, Buttigieg and everybody, to be out. So I would have done that, and evidently I don't know if they did that in the swing states, but that's what I would have done. I mean, I just played
just
back
stay
everything
quiet.
she said in 2019.
Well, but then he couldn't have had fun at those rallies. I
I
feel like.
was going to say.
Yeah.
But you know what, Senator Griffo, we pushed our support through him. I wasn't surprised he won 71%. You know, like I said, I had my staff working for him, and
I'm sure you did. Yeah. He represents you in Kirkville,
he does.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Mannion does?
No, Griffo.
No,
Griffo
Senator
does.
Griffo,
Yeah.
So
Mannion
Well,
does.
Mannion
as well.
does too. Yeah.
So tell him he just owes my staff a keg of beer and a bag of Chex Mix, because that's all they wanted. So,
Okay. All right.
something like that. But yeah, so it was interesting. Now Ryan Noble's coming on 8:30, right?
He should be, although Ryan worked overnight. He was
We'll see
hosting.
what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
You know what? He's about as fair as balanced as my friend on my car after driving through the New Hartford shopping plaza. You know, that's about as
That'll
balanced he is.
that'll ruin the balance on your tires.
Oh God, yeah, I found
your
that
front
out
end.
the hard way. But basically, it was just interesting how easy it was. So I guess evidently hiding her and having all these. Bruce Springsteen's over too, by the way. He did this for Hillary too. So
Okay.
Oh,
you might
did
want to
he?
give it
Wow.
up.
All right.
Yep. Okay.
All right, Scott. Did you
guys.
place any bets on the election?
Not on the election, but I was hoping that if somebody wants to vote, for Harris, that's great. I just hope they knew what you're getting into. Like, she was trying to get inmates on death row the right to vote. So if you want to vote for somebody that supports that, you go right ahead. I
Okay.
couldn't. Let's put it that way.
All right, fair enough. All right, Scott. Thank you, man.
Scott.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you Friday. We've had another good week, and just keep thinking Indiana football. They're 9 straight against the spread in the team total. So we'll
He
see
won,
what happens.
He's giving a little tease
He
there.
won big in horse racing last
We'll
week.
tease now.
All right,
Yep.
Scott. Thank you, man.
I'm just going to start giving Scott money. I mean, he's like
give
right
him
on
money,
with
let
everything.
him bet it for you, and
Wow.
then you just take a cut.
I'll give
Let
him
him
a cut
take
to
a
win.
cut.
Heck
Here's
yeah.
Lucia. Actually, Lucy, everything I think. Oh, no, she was with Brandon Williams.
Yeah. Lance and Lee, honestly, Lance and Lee, with the exception of, let's see here. I think he predicted everybody correctly except for the Marianne race. I'll have to look back at his comments. But he had Williams losing.
I think didn't
He
we
said-
all
he said-
though? Didn't we
here's-
all
yeah.
have that race picked?
Here's the
and,
Lance
and even
from
the
Lee.
Marianne, we called it to be dead, really, really tight. And everybody knew Joe Griffo was going to win and Brian Miller was going to win.
He said,
The
"Here's
presidency though was just a tough one to call.
Here's the Lance from Lee prediction. It was all Republicans, conservatives will win other than Williams, including Trump at the national level. You probably don't remember last year, but I was perfect in my predictions, including both mayors. So he was off.
He's off on Marianne as of right
now, yes.
Here's Lucia. Good morning.
Good morning. Wow, a lot of excitement. Oh, my God.
A lot of excitement.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes.
Lucy was out shooting her shotgun in the street last night.
It was a sleepless night for me, too,
Celebratory.
Lucy. Very
Celebratory.
sleepless night for me.
No, actually, I was in a place reading. I didn't do my stuff that I was supposed to do because I didn't want to hear any news. No news, nothing.
Okay.
Oh, so you
Nothing
waited
all
till you
day.
woke up, huh?
All day. No,
Oh.
And then, well, Bill, where were you last night? I went to Joe Griffo's celebration.
We did no celebrations last night. We
Well, you
stayed
should-
home.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, can you believe
They
it?
came by your home and get some balloons and let them fly. And
Well, let me
champagne and
just say
everything.
that you were out partying last night and you're still up at this hour, so you're doing really well.
You know, even though she's
Yeah,
Italian,
always.
she was singing 99 red balloons. And she was
99.
letting them in there.
Always do well.
Yeah.
So you won, the one and only. You see, the man yesterday, when I say to the man, his vote doesn't count, I didn't mean it literally. His vote counts. But he has so many votes. I get so many people. There was not one person except for him. They would not. Maybe we were not sure vote. You know.
Yeah.
So it's win is the ultimate. So now the one who can get it done.
She's still celebrating.
The one who can get it done. It's him, and he got it right.
Big win. There's no doubt, Luce. That was a big victory.
Wait, you're going to run now, okay? When you're going to run, I'm going to ask you.
That's never going to happen, but okay. Yes.
So you know what? I have a friend that they try to give me to drink. I don't drink. Only water in my hands. That's it.
They tried to get last night. They tried to get you to drink.
Yeah, they said it's a celebration. Listen,
oh yeah.
It's a celebration for me. Never drink ever. I don't like it. So, but another thing, one also. Of course.
Yes. Oh, you mean on the yes, your other big candidate.
Who's that?
Yeah,
Donald Trump.
Why?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And so I have friends, and listen, I was saying, Kamala's doing good. Blah, blah. I said, I don't want to hear their name. I don't want to hear anything about anyone. Don't be negative, nothing. I knew that something was going to happen.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was the ultimate. And then you won, and look what happened. All his family was there. Ooh, what a celebration today. Thank you, Jesus. You know why?
Thank you, Jesus. Well, Jesus was actually pulling most of feeling most of the bubbles, I believe, yesterday. You saw the hologram and Jesus holding Trump up and protecting him from the bullets. It was quite a scene.
That is for sure.
Yes.
It's a guarantee because only God can do it. There is no one but him. And look at this guy. They've been throwing everything at him, including killing him. Tried twice, and the guy wins. Now, everybody's saying, maybe 15 days, what's going to happen? Look, whatever. Miracles. That was the biggest miracle ever. You know why?
Why was it a miracle?
A miracle for the nation, for America, for your children. You're going to have grandchildren someday, right?
It's possible. It is possible.
No, don't say that.
Anyway, move on, for God's sakes.
Anyway,
All right, Luce. Well, I'm glad you are in a celebratory mood today. Congratulations.
Yeah, always.
All right.
Bill, always. So, Bill, thank you for everything, for letting me speak. Thank you.
I think you it was your stumping that may have pulled it off.
Can I just say one more thing?
You are going to.
The mayor, listen, just this one.
Go ahead.
Thank you. The mayor of Utica. I met the mayor of Utica.
Yes.
Now, Andrew, you can giggle. We're all going to giggle.
Oh, I don't want to offend you.
What a fine man he is. The mayor of Utica is really a great man.
Yes, he's a nice man.
Yeah.
He's handsome. He's a very fine boy, and now he's going to stay there.
And he's Italian. I mean,
He's Italian.
Plus,
cool.
right? All right, Lucia, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't stop
day.
calling now. Don't stop calling in now. The race is over.
Okay, I will call. Thank you
and that's
so much.
Andrew saying that. Okay, thank you. Is she happy? Do you think she's happy? I don't know. Davy's just in there shaking his head.
Ecstatic.
Let me break, and we'll come back and talk to John Mannion, who is Congressman-elect this morning in the NY22, knocking off incumbent Congressman Brandon Williams. Will speak with John Mannion coming up.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Utica in the Mohawk Valley, Black Friday is on at Mattress Express. Shop nowhere else. Listen to these deals on select sets of Purple. Save up to $1,000. We have the largest selection of Purple in New York State. Puffy, save up to $1,350. Tempur-Pedic, $500. Sealy, $400. Stearns & Foster, save up to $800. And buy a Queen adjustable bed tech base for $999. Get a $500 prepaid Visa card back. How do you beat that? 5 years to pay, no money down for qualified buyers. Want a bed? You can pick the number on each side. The Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, you know it. The Flex Setting King or Queen reversible cover. Get a $1,000 prepaid Visa card in 5 years. No interest, no money down for qualified buyers. And don't forget, we are open Thanksgiving night for our annual Thanksgiving Day sale. You will get deals Thanksgiving night you will never get the rest of the year. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
I do want to, and we will get to this story about the former officer and a resource officer at New Hartford Schools.
This is a toughie.
Being arrested for sending sexually explicit photos of himself and other person to that person's family, according to New York State Police.
Oh, my
This was reported on Monday. He was arrested on Tuesday. Everybody's innocent till proven guilty, but this is a rough story, and I'll get to it coming up. It's from State Police. On the line right now, and listen, there were those that thought this was going to be close. We told you about that science pack that came in a couple of weeks ago and said they didn't feel that this was any longer a toss-up, that Mannion was in control of this race, and they pulled their money out. That was inside polling, their own polling, that gave them that clue. Turns out it was right. John Mannion, a big winner last night. He is your next congressman in the 22nd Congressional District and is on the line now. John Mannion, good morning.
Good morning, Keeler. Thanks for having me on.
Well, and thank you for, I know it's a long night, and thank you for being here this morning. You did promise. You're either going to see a lot of me or you're never going to see me again. I think was your quote. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I used it before, and people still saw a lot of me. So here I am back.
And you're back.
Listen, I probably got to sleep about 1:30 last night, and as you can imagine, 4:30 came and bang. I had a lot of thoughts in my head. So I was up, and I appreciate the opportunity to be back on your show, and I'm sure I'll be on many, many times. And I want to make sure I'm reaching everybody, your listenership, and listen to what their concerns are and deliver for them. So we get to talk issues. They should know where I stand, and I should be hearing from them and you, and when those emails come in. So here we are.
We tremendously, I cannot tell you how much we appreciate it, the importance of being able to talk to our congressman. And Oneida County, as you have said, plays a big role in this district, and to have you here, we certainly appreciate it. Looking at the numbers around the country, it looks like the Republicans will take control of the Senate. It looks like Donald Trump only needs one more swing state, and he will be president of the United States. And right now, Republicans have a lead, although it has not been called in the House. It looks like the Republicans may end up with a razor-thin margin in the House. This is going to be a very interesting government going forward. I think you have your hands full.
I agree with you. I certainly was looking at some of the races out west in the House to see where it falls. And, what is a little bit concerning, but it's reflective of where we are in this political world. Number one, we do have a lot of seats that are very safe, very Republican or very Democratic. Mm-hmm. It's one or the other. They're not contested. And number two, we are less apt to reach across the aisle. I mean, I've done it. I voted against my party. I'm committed to do it. But we're looking at those numbers as if it's all or nothing, and that's not the way it should be. But I'm certainly looking at what's happening in Arizona and California, where there's some close races, and they still have only like 50 or 60% of the vote out. So we'll see. But it's going to be interesting. And again, I believe, and I know, I accept Donald Trump is our next president again. And there's things that we're going to disagree on. There's things that we're going to agree on. It's my job to represent the people of the 22nd District, be a good reflection of it, and find my role in the House of Representatives to make sure our voice is heard.
It is something we appreciate. I know you're busy making the rounds today, and you probably haven't even had all of this sink in as of yet. But what a luxury, though, to be able to wake up this morning and know that you won and not have to sit at the edge of your seat. There are a lot of those in the House of Representatives right now that aren't sure.
Well, that's right. I've represented down here in Onondaga and Cayuga and Oswego, so you haven't heard this line, but I say it frequently. I've never won or lost on election night. Never. I lost my first race that went to an absentee count, and then when I won in 2020, it was a pandemic. There was a lot of mail-in absentee ballots, and then in 2022, I only won by 10 votes. So I've watched the elections system work effectively. That's why I'm very vocal about my support and making sure we push back against the false narrative about, that our elections are not functioning. But I won tonight. I was hoping that I would win, last night, and I did. And, again, Congressman Williams called me, and he was very gracious, and, I thank him for his service to this district, for his service to this country, with his military background, and he had said, he would help with the transition, and I believe that he is true to his word. Our interactions with each other in person have always been very positive, despite what people see in their mailboxes and on TV.
Yeah.
Yes, despite all of that.
Thank God that's over with. We can all smile a little bit about that.
They were playing back-to-back on my TV. Holy moly. Well, listen, John Mannion, congratulations. Thank you so much for taking the time this morning. Can't wait to see you in studio in that next step and talk policy going forward.
That's right. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for having me on today and in the past.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
Congressman-elect John Mannion. Thanks so much.
How lucky he is he gets to talk to us first thing in the morning after his big victory.
Listen, I appreciate that. This audience should appreciate that. I think
most certainly.
And if you know John Mannion beyond all of the commercials, and I got to say, I'd like to thank Congressman Brandon Williams, who also was there when we had questions and was in studio or on the phone. Greatly appreciated. It is so important for people here to be able to have contact with their national representatives.
Agreed.
And we've been in those scenarios where you never get to talk to that congressperson.
Yes, we have.
And we certainly appreciate that with Brandon Williams. And I look forward to John Mannion being available. And it is going to be interesting with this district the way it is. There's a chance that he may serve for a couple of terms. We have not seen that because of all this district gerrymandering, which is really what's been going on. We've not seen that. I guess the last time we did is when Richard Hanna was in.
Richard Hanna was the last constant. Then it was Tenney, Brindisi Tenney, Williams. Yeah.
And here we are.
Mannion.
And so
before that, Sherry Bullard. Nobody
was around forever.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see a little tenure, a little bit of clout. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to see that? And maybe we see it in John Mannion. So, and the other part I would say to you is, if you followed him in New York State, he's somebody that is. He could easily be a Republican, a moderate Republican. He's a moderate who puts upstate New York first. I do not believe this is going to be, and it seems to put our area right up in the forefront. And I think that's important as well. We could easily be forgotten.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'll see that with him. So.
And, Trump said last night in his speech that he hopes to be a unifier and hopes to work for all Americans. I hope that he means that, and I hope that he will work with Mannion to not take away the Micron plant.
Well, that would be awful.
Keep the funding here.
I'll take a couple quick calls before we, and I have comments, too, to get to, a bunch of them here this morning. Ann in Rome is devastated. She wanted Harris.
Trump, baby, I'm loving it.
She was such a Harris fan.
Last night,
she voted for
Lucia.
Harris.
We had a nice chat.
Stumped for
I'd
Harris.
be happier? No.
So you were hanging with Lucia at Griffo's party last night.
Yes, I was. What a wonderful woman. We had a great time. Congrats to Joe Griffo. He's a man. Love him. But Donald Trump, she showed her true colors last night. She pulled a Hillary Clinton. Went home, didn't even bother to thank her supporters, just didn't bother, didn't concede, said nothing. I'll talk to everybody tomorrow.
Well,
that goes to show what kind of person she is.
So it's not official, but it's all but official. Trump needs to be, in case you're waking up to the numbers. Trump ended up winning Pennsylvania. That puts him just a few electoral votes away, one swing state away, and which could possibly come today.
Yeah, well, they were showing 277 on Fox this morning.
Okay. That's what Fox is saying. All right.
Yeah.
I think NBC declared this morning, but we'll have to see why and what state did it for them.
So there you go, Ann. I was thinking about you last night through all of this. I'm like, Ann has got to be out there just celebrating, or maybe with her shotgun in the street with Lucia, just firing bullets into the air.
The only pair to beat a full house.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
CNN also on their
Congratulations.
website, also now on their website officially saying Trump elected 47th president of the United States.
Yeah, I you kind of felt that all night long. I don't know where anybody had Harris winning last night. I don't know where that came from, but I read one story that had that, and I'm thinking, I'm not sure where that's coming from.
I'm not sure.
Last night, interestingly, I was in London last night. They had, I got to tell you, when Great Britain or any of Europe has a big election, we don't really follow it.
No, we don't.
I mean, we're like, well, let's see what's going to happen. We'll wake up tomorrow and find out. They had an entire election, a U.S. election special last night. And I was lucky enough to be a part of that over there. And it just was amazing. And their big question for me was, are Democrats feeling like they made the wrong choice? I don't think Joe Biden could have even come close. This was close. And my answer to that was, listen, I think if you talk to a Democrat, for the most part, it's more about the anti-Trump vote than it is any love for Kamala Harris. So she could be a cardboard box, and they'd still probably be voting for her.
Well, and I think the one interesting question,
but it just amazed me at their interest in follow our politics like it's their own.
Interesting, and we'll talk to Jeff Manasso a little bit later on this morning. How did Pennsylvania play into this year's election?
Yeah.
Maybe the choice to go with Walz over Shapiro was her undoing. That could be a question.
I don't think Walz turned out to be a very good VP choice in the end. But that's just, personal opinion. Cordelia wants to... you wanted me to go right there.
Right.
Cordelia, good morning. Good morning.
I'm going to be in trouble.
Good morning.
Good morning. We can say it's a very troubled evening for all of our candidates. It was triumphant with Brian Miller and Joe Griffo. I attended both parties, and it was really wonderful to hear all the people they were going to talk about.
Well, it was interesting, too, because right next door, the party for... Marianne Buttonshaw was next door, and I think Myers was tagging along in that party. They were at the 72 Tavern, and Griffo, his party was at the Autolicious. So the two were like side by side.
He was peeking over.
Yeah.
Had to share some of the parking lot with them. Yeah.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really great, and I'm happy that Trump won.
All right. Well, congratulations on. It's nice to probably wake up and have all of your votes turn out to be a winner. Is that how it worked out for you?
Yes, it did.
All right.
It was very gratifying to know that now we can have a chance to get our government realigned and back in position again, because right now it's been a mess.
Okay, Cordelia, I got a break. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Bye, Cordelia.
A couple of comments. Bill Morehouse, I've never been more proud to be an American. Bill Morehouse, the Democrat, huge Trump supporter. Rob, I think Stefanik helped Esposito a lot. Probably. Mike, they're having a bedwetting party at MSNBC. Wayne, there were long lines for voting, but the lines moved along really well and efficiently yesterday.
Huge turnout. I noticed that as well.
And in Rome, there's a picture of her shooting a shotgun into the air in the street last night. I don't think that's true. Got a break. We have news, Fox News, with the latest straight ahead.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
This is a Fox News alert. An ex-president will be our next president. I'm Dave Anthony.
Look what happened. Is this crazy?
Former President Trump celebrating victory at about 2:30 this morning in Florida.
This will truly be the golden age of America.
He spoke not long after the Fox Decision Desk projected Trump the winner, defeating Vice President Harris.
We're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help.
The former president reiterated many of his well-known policy goals, but he also thanked newer prominent supporters like Elon Musk and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., saying he intends to keep building coalitions. In West Palm Beach, Eben Brown, Fox News.
Now, North Carolina was the first toss-up state called for Trump.
I'm just tickled to death because I'm telling you, we couldn't have 4 more years of what we've had.
Another voter in Pennsylvania tells Fox.
Relief, joy, and maybe things will get back to normal. Maybe we can afford whatever we want to buy again.
Fox calling Wisconsin for the former president before 2 a.m. gave Trump enough electoral votes to win, 277. And he leads in 4 states not called yet: Alaska, Arizona, Michigan, and Nevada. And the former president leads in the popular vote. We've not heard yet from the vice president. She did not address her election night gathering at Howard University in Washington. Harris campaign co-chair Cedric Richmond told supporters she'll emerge later today.
To address not only the HU family, not only to address her supporters, but to address the nation.
Democrats have also lost control of the Senate and the next Congress.
We're tired of being treated like second-class citizens in our own country.
Republican Bernie Moreno unseated Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown in Ohio, and the GOP gained another seat with Jim Justice's victory in West Virginia. Republicans have lead in 4 of the 5 other Senate races not called yet. Republicans also may keep control of the House. They have more seats so far than Democrats. America's listening to Fox News.
Police officer and K-9 handler Jacob Russell Chaffins was fatally shot while attempting to serve warrants for domestic violence offenses. And thanks to friends like you and your generosity, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave the Chaffins family the gift of a mortgage-free home. There's so much more to do and to say thank you to our nation's heroes and their families for their immense sacrifices, all for us. Donate $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org. You know, the big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk.
Again, our top Fox News story, former President Trump will be our president again, joining Grover Cleveland 132 years ago as the only presidents to lose re-election and then 4 years later win back the White House after the Fox News Decision Desk projected Trump the Electoral College winner over Vice President Harris. Now, the former president is being congratulated by foreign leaders overseas. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called it a huge Trump victory, saying they have a true friendship. Meanwhile, in California, some Election Day anti-Semitism is being investigated.
As voters headed to the polls in Los Angeles, vandals reportedly went to work vandalizing Jewish-owned businesses in the city's Pico Robertson neighborhood. The area is home to several synagogues, as well as the Jewish Museum of Tolerance. Los Angeles police say they found several Jewish businesses with their windows broken out, but they say it's still unclear whether the businesses were specifically targeted because they're Jewish-owned. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
Voters in 10 states also decided ballot measures on abortion rights.
Florida's Amendment 4 and Missouri's Amendment 3 aiming to protect abortion rights until fetal viability. Florida's falling short, Missouri's passing, opening the door to strike the state's near-total ban. In Maryland, abortion is already legal up to fetal viability, and in Colorado, there are no laws restricting the procedure. Measures in these states aim to formally enshrine those rights into state constitutions. Maryland's Question 1 and Colorado's Amendment 79 passing. Voters in Nebraska narrowly approving a measure to restrict abortion in the first trimester, but the fate of a competing measure to enshrine the right to the procedure up to fetal viability is unclear. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
A big post-Trump election stock market rally is brewing. Dow futures up more than 1,200 points as the Federal Reserve gets ready to start a two-day meeting expected to lead to another interest rate cut tomorrow. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM, News Time 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. We're at 61 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. A New Hartford police officer has resigned and is in trouble with the law after engaging in alleged revenge porn. On November 4th, 2024, state police arrested 57-year-old Paul Colburn of Utica. The official charge from police is unlawful dissemination of an intimate image, which is a Class A misdemeanor. He was ordered back to court on November 12th. A preliminary investigation revealed Colburn sent sexually explicit photos of him and the victim to the victim's family through text message without their consent. He has resigned from his role with the New Hartford Police Department, according to that department.
Can you repeat what the accusation is? I'm trying to figure this out in my head.
A preliminary investigation revealed Colburn sent sexually explicit photos of he and the victim to the victim's family through text message without their consent. So put yourself in this position. You and a...
Please don't.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Move on. Don't do that.
You asked.
Not something I would ever...
Not even in a million years consider. I don't want to even see myself in a mirror, let alone on a camera.
All I can say is you're innocent until proven guilty. That is a hell of an accusation.
Folks who live in the 22nd Congressional District will have a new representative come 2025. Democrat and State Senator John Mannion defeated Republican incumbent Congressman Brandon Williams in one of the most expensive political races in the country. Mannion is only the third Democrat in the past 60 years to earn this seat on Capitol Hill. The district covers all of Onondaga and Madison counties, plus portions of Cortland, Oneida, and Cayuga counties. In some of our local races here in the area, Joe Griffo winning handily against his Democrat challenger, James Myers. In the 51st Senate District, Republican incumbent Peter Oberacker defeated Michelle Frazier. It is still too close to call in the race for the 119th State Assembly District as Marianne Buttonshaw, the incumbent, is currently in the lead.
I really want to say this hour we'll speak with Marianne Buttonshaw.
That is correct.
And also Jimmy Falla from Fox News Radio. And our own.
He had some good X posts last night.
Who's coming to Rome, the Rome Capitol Theater on December the 6th. And he'll be on our radio airwaves today at noon. But before that, we'll be speaking with him this morning right after the free money question.
Correct.
Thank you.
Marianne Buttonshaw
That's
is
a tight
leading.
race with Buttonshaw and Esposito.
Christine Esposito.
But Buttonshaw in the lead. Let's see what she says, what she knows here, and what the process will be going forward. We'll speak with her in a few minutes.
And Brian Miller defeated his Democrat challenger in the 118th Assembly District. I believe it's the 118th.
When he was done, he celebrated with a martini.
Cheers. 122nd District. And yes, cling. And one more for you. It was a sticky situation in Michigan as the 2024 election got a little stickier than in other states. The Michigan Department of State held a I Voted sticker design contest, awarding top honors to several winners. Some designs even went viral. Buyers were offering to pay more than $30 for stickers that include an image of a werewolf pulling off his shirt in front of the American flag. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time.
Good God.
7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. For today, we will see rain showers, cloudy skies, and a high in the low 70s. Slight chance of rain overnight, cloudy with a low falling into the lower 50s. Tomorrow, more rain possible, otherwise partly sunny with a high in the mid to upper 50s. You can always get the full 5-day forecast at WIBX950.com. Right now, we have cloudy skies and 61 degrees. It is 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. The Giants are thinning their secondary, according to ESPN. The G-Men have released cornerback Nick McLeod. The 26-year-old had been playing on a one-year, $3 million contract as a restricted free agent. He originally joined the Giants after being claimed off waivers from the Buffalo Bills in 2022 and started 16 of the 38 games he played for Big Blue. New York is last in the NFC East at 2-7 and will face the Carolina Panthers on Sunday in Munich. The Jets moved on from a disgruntled member of their offense. Gang Green dealt wide receiver Mike Williams to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for a 2025 fifth-round pick. Williams had been called out by Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers in Week 6 for running the wrong route on a target that resulted in a game-ending interception. The 30-year-old had been targeted just twice over the past 2 games, catching 1 pass for 6 yards and has just 12 catches for 166 yards in 9 games this season. The Knicks are adding to their backcourt. According to ESPN, the Knicks have signed guard Boo Buie to a 2-way contract. He briefly spent time on the Knicks training camp roster and recently appeared on the training camp roster for Westchester in the G League. New York is second in the Atlantic Division at 3-3. They'll wrap up a 4-game road trip when they visit the Atlanta Hawks tonight. The Islanders rallied for a 4-3 shootout victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins at UBS Arena. Kyle Palmieri put the Isles on the board with his 6th goal of the season. New York is now tied for 5th in the Metro Division with 12 points at 5-6-2. They'll visit the Ottawa Senators tomorrow night. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 7:11.
It is interesting when you look at the popular vote, and this was something I saw yesterday for the first time anybody talking about Trump, and this is the one poll yesterday, and I believe it was the one Siena that had Harris and Trump deadlocked, but if you bring in the third-party candidates, it had Trump winning by 2%. And if you look, it's really quite interesting because when you look at the third-party candidates, including Jill Stein, even Robert Kennedy ended up with how many? Almost 600,000 votes. Chase Oliver, these are people you might not ever have heard of. And then there were a whole bunch of
How
other.
did literally anybody else do?
He'd be a whole bunch of other candidates that aren't listed on
Like
my
Mickey
report
Mouse.
here. That they got about, it was about almost 2% of the vote. So that Siena poll, in terms of the popular vote, really was spot on. But most of the polls, you didn't hear them talk about the third-party candidates. They don't take much, right? 1% to 2%, something like that. But still, in a race this close, could certainly play a role.
It's interesting, too. You would have thought that Kennedy would have harmed Trump, but a lot of the time where he was a factor and on the ballot, he didn't seem to do so that much.
Right. You don't know who they took from, but ultimately, if according to Siena, they took from her, the third party. So interesting stuff. We have a lot to get to. Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw, who looks like who is in the lead right now, but that will most likely go to some sort of a count, very similar to what we had between. In the congressional race a few years back with Brindisi and Tenney. Remember that?
That lasted a while.
This we should get through much quicker than that. We'll speak with Marianne Buttonshaw coming up. Hobica's free money question of the day today. Davey, we're looking at giving away what this morning?
You got a lot of mojo this morning. Come on, let's give
Mr.
it up.
Mojo.
$250.
$250. I'm not going to mess with you today. You're in one of those moods. I'm not. You have more mojo than I can handle today.
I ran into somebody yesterday. I'm not going to say where I was. I was out and about. And they know I work on the show, and they said, "How come every time you give an amount, Bill changes it up on you?"
Yeah, that's weird.
I said, "Well, I give him an amount, and then he changes up. I don't have nothing to do with it."
Yeah, that's so weird.
But he didn't change up today, you said.
I didn't know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay.
What did you say, 300?
$250.
Okay. It's $250. I'm going to honor your vote.
Okay.
Today.
Here's a few comments quickly here. John in Bridgewater. Sure is a great day to be American. Trump, Griffo, Miller, and the Keeler show. Suck on that Harris. Jerry and Clinton. Guys, it's been declared.
Don't take that out of context.
Yeah. Guys, it's been declared officially on all major news outlets. Trump wins.
A 277 to 224 is what the Associated Press is saying here this morning.
And John in Deerfield says Google also shows that. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of the, as they kept referring to it, the blue wall states end up and the rest of the swing states.
So Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, and Alaska still have not been called as of yet, I believe. Well, listen, end of the day, it's over. And we'll speak with Marianne Buttonshaw. How close is hers to being over? We'll get there with her coming up in a minute. You're adding even more, Davey?
I want to know how come Trump didn't win New York. Is it downstate that carries the vote for Kamala, and he didn't get his own state where he was?
Listen, I saw two people arguing over Trump and Harris yesterday, and they were two friends arguing.
Oh, really? Up here, yeah.
And I said, "What are you arguing over? You played no role in this whatsoever. Zero. It's downstate. So okay. New York is a blue state, right? And so why are you arguing? Why are you arguing when? Because they're not arguing over their vote. They're arguing over the concept of policy of Trump as of, I like him. No, it's like the Bills versus
the Dolphins.
The Dolphins. Yeah. The two fans arguing over it. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. Just move on. Free Fuel Fridays.
Oh, this is a good contest.
This is our contest with Clifford Markets and Cliff's local markets. And it's free gas. Today we're going to give away another $25 in gas. Tomorrow, another $25. Online, we're going to give away another $25 today, another tomorrow. But on Friday, one of the 8 qualifiers will win $500 in gasoline. Now, how can you get in on this contest? It's very easy. Later on in the hour, at some point between now and 8 o'clock, I'm going to say call in. And we'll select a winner. They'll win a $25 gift card. And, Davey, that winner will be qualifying for what?
A $25 gift card from Cliff's local market, Bill.
Well, they'll win that. And then they'll qualify to win the $500 on Friday. You can do it by calling in here, which we'll give you the chance to do. And you can also do it by downloading the app. Download the WIBX 950 app, and you can register right there online and become. Now, I'm told when people go in to try to enter into the contest, they entered last week, and they go in this week and try to enter, and it won't let them enter.
Still eligible.
Once you enter once, you're in for the long haul. You are entered into the contest through the end of it, which will be the week before Thanksgiving. So in just a couple of weeks, we have a few more weeks of this to go. That's telling you, in my opinion, download that app. Get that app downloaded. Search Google Play or the App Store on your iPhone and get it on your phone and register for this. You have a great opportunity at winning. Download the app today and get in on it and get ready, because at some point we're going to have you call in this morning for a $25 gift card with a chance to win another $500. Pretty darn cool. The Assemblywoman, Marianne Buttonshaw, coming right up.
You're already Supermom. Bouncing from work to soccer practice most nights, you've got your hands full. Luckily, AmeriQ's right here whenever you need us. Make remote deposits, pay a person, check your credit score, and more, all from the AmeriQ app. So whether you're in line at grocery pickup or sitting on the bleachers, you really can do it all with AmeriQ. Download our app or visit AmeriQ.org to open an account. Membership eligibility is required, insured by NCUA.
Oh, you've seen these before. Would you rather eat only sausage and peppers for a year or start school over? Next one. Would you rather earn 40% one year, lose 20% the next, or make 8% both years? Lee Baldwin and Company can't help you with your diet, but they can help you find out why long-term wealth is a product of short-term consistency. Lee Baldwin and Company. Find your investment answers at investtoday.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
You want to recycle, but you're not sure what's recyclable, what goes in your weekly recycling bin, or what goes in the trash. Wheelock Disposal Service, your recycling experts, wants to give you some helpful tips in determining what waste goes where. Working from home, you may have more office supplies than usual. You could put all writing paper, copy paper, computer paper, envelopes, Post-it notes, manila folders in the recycling bin, along with any junk mail. For more information, go to wheelockdisposal.com. Your recycling experts.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Throughout the entire month of November, take $100 off instantly on any 4 installed Bridgestone or Firestone tires, including popular winter tires like the Firestone Winter Force and the Bridgestone Blizzak. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals is ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at tallmanstires.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed.
Black Friday is on at Mattress Express. Take 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers. Save up to $1,000 on select Purple sets, $500 on Tempur-Pedic, $400 on Sealy, and $1,350 on Puffy. Shop nowhere else.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Alrighty, last night, Marianne Buttonshaw, the Assemblywoman, was in a tight race this morning. She's in the lead, but the race has not yet been called. I'm interested to know what all of this means, and we probably could get some answers if we actually spoke with Marianne.
I wish she were here to
Any
talk
chance
to us.
of getting Marianne this morning?
Davey, hook it up.
Davey, call Marianne Buttonshaw.
Get her on the line.
Get her on the line. Thank you. Good morning, Marianne. That was quick. That was fast.
Lightning
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good. Well, I'll say congratulations, but that's a little preliminary. Where are we right now with your race?
So, actually, I have approximately 400 voters that exceed my opponent's record. So, at this point, I look at this as a very positive manner. I look forward to serving the individuals of the 119th Assembly District, many agencies, residents, and appreciate all those that got out to vote yesterday, and look forward to serving again.
So you're declaring victory right now.
Well, I have to say, Bill, that there are some absentees out, to my understanding.
Okay.
But clearly, it is at a 1% margin that I'm at, and it's looking as the best aspect is that I will continue to move forward, and this margin will expand. But so that's how I see it at this point.
All right.
And
now
continue. Go ahead.
No, sorry about that. I just two things.
Well, I want to say congratulations.
Congratulations,
right off the bat,
yes.
Andrew.
Two things. One, have you had any conversations with your opponent at all since last night? And the second question, definitely an interesting factor that in a presidential year, a lot of the time people will just vote along party lines. That did not seem to be the case in your race, especially in Oneida County, that probably in a lot of other aspects leaned Republican.
I have not heard from my opponent, number one. And number two, I think, Andrew, as you talk about it, this was a very challenging time that we see in regards to a election season. I mean, there was a lot of confusing information out there. And when you take a look at, more importantly, the work that is done and the work that I am very proud of the office that I have the ability to lead, is that we will continue to work hard and represent the residents of the 119th Assembly District.
All right. I'm looking at the results that we have in right now. You're at 22,372 votes to Esposito's 21,929. So about 400 vote lead. And let's say even if the absentees were to skew slightly in her favor, you certainly have plenty of absentees. It would be almost impossible for her to make up the difference in that 400 votes. I'm assuming is what you're seeing here this morning.
That's my understanding. Yeah.
All right. Listen, and how do you feel? They went after you hard.
Yeah.
There was
almost like a congressional race.
Every single commercial was a negative ad trying to tie you to a person, a representative who's a rubber stamp, Hochul. You're
riding in the car.
You're riding in the car with Hochul.
Riding shotgun.
How do you? And you did not respond that way. In fact, one of your commercials on radio basically said, no matter how much they go after you, you refuse to go dirty and negative. How do you respond to that today?
Because this is again, I am up for re-election, just as any other. If you're looking to renew your job, you talk about yourself. You talk about why someone should consider to vote for you to put you back in that position. I'm not going to look at any other aspect. I was explaining it. If I've hired many individuals when I was at the college, and if someone came in to me and said, well, the person out in the hall is da-da-da-da-da, I wouldn't bring them into my team.
Right.
I mean, you don't want someone that is in a negative form. This when you're working in Albany, you have to work with everyone.
Right.
You have to respect everyone. It doesn't matter what the party affiliation is. It's about what is best for the district that you represent.
And I assume that one of the things that is important for you is working with people like Joe Griffo and Brian Miller and Robert Smullen and others that are in the opposition party, if you will. But you all work together as upstate New York and for the Mohawk Valley.
Absolutely. We've talked about the MV9, which is the Mohawk Valley 9 bipartisan group that Joe Griffo established many years ago. We believe it's about the MV12 now because of the expansion of it. But that is the only way to move forward, is to work with everyone.
Yeah.
And it is proven that it is the best approach, and it is the only approach that I see.
All right. Well, listen, Marianne, congratulations. And we hope to see you back here in studio very soon.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
You're always welcome.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There you go. And again, I want to reiterate, I do believe the commercials matter. Obviously, I produce them for a living. So they're epic, right? They're very important.
It's interesting.
But the reality is, and I said this 2 days ago, and I said it yesterday, never once in in the race against Marianne Buttonshon did Ms. Esposito sell herself. It was every single commercial was why you shouldn't vote for Marianne Buttonshon. And I had somebody explain to me saying, well, listen, this is the concept. I'm waiting. I want to know the concept. The concept is, we get our vote out and you just keep hammering her and tying her to Hochul and we win. And I said, but there's not any, there at no point are you telling people why they need to vote for Esposito.
Yeah.
That has to play a role. Even the most negative ads you saw with Brandon Williams and John Mannion, use the congressional race as your indicator. Even in that race, there were plenty of pro Brandon Williams commercials, and obviously they were outnumbered by the negatives, and pro John Mannion commercials.
Yeah.
They at least were there to say, here they are with their family, a warm and fuzzy, and here's why you should vote for them. Here's why you should make an emotional connection with that candidate.
Correct.
And that never happened in this race. And, it's by losing by or Marianne winning by a razor-thin margin. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. As long as you win, you win. And that's Marianne declaring victory here this morning.
And, it goes to show you that, there's a lot of our listeners and our commenters and our Lance and Lears and a lot of people.
Is that a word?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. Okay.
That comment on the app and say to us, term limits. And while personally I do agree to some extent to term limits, there is an advantage to having seniority and years under your belt as far as the local races. And we saw that in Griffo's race, and now we're starting to see that unfold as we did. Although it wasn't as great of a victory as Griffo over Myers, you're seeing that in the Buttonshon Esposito race.
Also, a couple of it. You want to know where Oneida County went on all of this?
Sure do.
We know in the state what were in the districts what actually happened, but in terms of Oneida County, Proposition 1, a lot of commercials here against that. That won overall in New York State. Overwhelmingly, it passed. But in Oneida County, 47,309 to 45,013.
Wow, so
no.
So close.
But it was very close even in Oneida County. And then when you move up to president, Donald Trump carries Oneida County significantly, 60% to 38%. In the U.S. Senate, Sapricone. Is that how you say his name? We didn't hear his commercials till the end.
Yeah.
He seemed pretty fiery, but he didn't have any money.
Didn't have a chance. I'd like to see if our man
in Oneida County, 56-43, he wins in Oneida County. She, of course, wins the race. In Stefanik, Stefanik wins 70-30. She won that way in the entire district. As we said, Mannion versus Williams. Brandon Williams defeating John Mannion 54 to 45%. But a relatively close race, and in the district, it shows you the power of Onondaga, because I believe Williams won Madison County as well. And in Onondaga County, that was where the win was carried for John Mannion. We spoke to him earlier this morning, and obviously Griffo and Brian Miller both winning big. Robert Smullen, who handles just a little part of northern Oneida County and into Herkimer County, and then all the way down the Mohawk Valley to Schenectady, he wins unopposed. And then what do you have?
I would just be interested to see how our man Joe Cardinal did.
Look that up. Got
to look that up.
This is Long Island area, right? Quick break, and we're going to speak with Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy coming with his stand-up show. He does a show on Fox News Channel Saturday nights, and of course here on the radio every day from noon till 3. Jimmy Fallon coming to help us celebrate our 99th birthday at the Rome Capitol Theater. Now is the time. The election's over. Get your tickets for this one.
It's going to be a good show now.
I believe great $45 seats left. We may be releasing some tickets along the line of Black Friday. There may be some tickets released. We'll get into that coming up, but we'll speak with Jimmy coming up in a few minutes. Davey, you have that all set up? Everything's good? You've given him the green light?
Yeah, he come up to see me.
Okay, all right. We're going to speak with Jimmy
And
Fallon.
our man Stefan got his ticket yesterday.
Coming
he
up.
sent me a text.
I heard that too. Jimmy Fallon coming up in a few minutes here on the radio. All right, let's do Hobica's free money question of the day. Davey, you're looking for $250 and caller number what?
7.
Seventh caller. Right now at 315-736-0186. Your chance to win right now. Caller 7 from Hobica and WIBX.
You don't need to go to extremes this winter finding all those blankets. Call Tri-County Heating for all your furnace repairs. Need a new furnace? Quotes are free. Tri-County Heating, your Rude Pro Partner dealer, will make you warm and comfy this winter. Check out their website at tri-countyheating.com or call them at 315-829-4100. Stay comfortable in your home and call Tri-County Heating today.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Adirondack Home Furniture wants you to fall in love with your home again. With their timeless design and incredible craftsmanship, their furniture is the type of furniture that gets passed down from generation to generation. For years, Adirondack Home Furniture has been providing quality and comfort to Central New York. From American-made pieces and new Amish pieces to top designers, Adirondack Home Furniture has what you want. Whether you're looking to redo your living room, dining room, bedroom, kids' rooms, or just need some pieces to get your home ready for the holidays, Adirondack Home Furniture has that perfect piece. With a fully stocked showroom and the best prices of the season, you need to stop in today. Adirondack Home Furniture has non-commissioned salespeople, which means you enjoy a relaxing, low-pressure shopping experience. They also pride themselves on their unmatched customer service and attention to detail. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and get your home ready for the holidays. Riverside Center in North Utica, or go to AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Throughout the entire month of November, take $100 off instantly on any 4 installed Bridgestone or Firestone tires, including popular winter tires like the Firestone Winter Force and the Bridgestone Blizzak. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals is ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at TallmansTires.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed.
The Rome Area Chamber of Commerce presents a night of Motown melodies for Rome recovery. Friday, November 8th at the Rome Polish House. Starting at 6:30 p.m. featuring the Brown Skin Band and the ZZ Trio. This event features an open bar which includes beer, wine, and 2 signature drinks from 6:30 to 9:30, plus appetizers and hors d'oeuvres. Tickets are $45 each or $80 per couple. All proceeds will benefit the Rome Chamber Business Assistance Fund. Get your tickets and more information at romechamber.com/events.
Ever thought of adding an adjustable base to your queen bed? At Mattress Express, buy a BedTech adjustable base right now for $9.99 and get a $500 prepaid Visa card. You heard me right. You get half your money back in a prepaid Visa card. Shop Mattress Express.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Yeah, terrible. Terrible, right? Sorry, your mic's on.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Insera's Flooring Outlet, just for a moment, if I may. We're in the middle of looking for tile. And when I said to my wife, where do we go to find tile around here? There are many places, but there's only one that has...
I was going to say there's only
one that has the best selection. The most mega large, I didn't say mega, I said mega large inventory in Central New York. So it's Democrats, Independents, Republicans, come one, come all. Insera's has you covered. It's their Route 49 Plaza, and it's the largest inventory. And it's not just tile. It's vinyl flooring, carpeting, laminates, maybe the Mohawk. The Pergo Extreme by Mohawk is the most amazing product you're going to find anywhere. If it's flooring, there's only one place to go. Insera's Flooring Outlet. And then that's where we're going. So ultimately, we came home with some samples.
It's a good place
and we're about to add tile and additional tile in our home. Online, you can look at their amazing facility and their amazing inventory at inserasflooringoutlet.com. Get a $50 off coupon there, and you can save with 6 months interest-free financing right now. Insera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and online, inserasflooringoutlet.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
This could be a song. I mean, I just love this song, and it's not even a song. It's like a...
We'll make it one.
Let's make it one. We will.
Do it.
Wayne is on the line right now. Wayne in Utica, ready to take a shot at Hobica's free money question of the day. And today, it's worth, Davey, how much again was that? I forgot.
$250.
$250, stupid.
Wayne, how you feeling today, buddy?
It's a good day. You know, you wake up and you find out that for it's been a long time. It's been like 3 weeks since they picked up leaves in South Utica. Looks like a war zone. Looks like a war zone. But you know what? They picked up the leaves.
Forget the presidential race. Forget all of that. They picked up the freaking leaves.
I only want one thing out of this whole presidential thing. I want you to, at the closing of this show, I want you to bring on that Ryan.
Bring on why? Do you think Ryan was?
Why not? Why not? He's always on for anything else to boast. I want him on today.
Okay. People feel like Ryan is one-sided or the other. I know you feel that way. He's a journalist.
He comes across that way.
Well,
I know, but he comes across that way. You know what? He's got. It's his choice to do that.
The problem is when you listen to some of the talk show hosts that you listen to. You there have somebody who is giving, they're like Rush was not a journalist. He put on a show, and he's going to say the things you want him to say. But Ryan is going to, and I know there will be those who will disagree, but I'm telling you, I know him. He's a journalist. He's going to tell it like it is based on reporting and based on his investigative reporting. So I'm going to disagree with you on that, but we plan to have him on, although
There's
this morning...
more than what I expected.
Listen, this morning, we might not get him because he was on from 2 a.m. until 6 this morning, hosting overnight on MSNBC. So
have you talked to him? Maybe you shoot him a text and see.
I will shoot him a text. I'll find out.
Do you think Jimmy Fallon is just like Rush? Because I don't think he is.
Jimmy tells it like it is, but Jimmy's doing it. He's an entertainer. He's putting on a.
Yeah.
That's what these talk shows are.
He calls balls and strikes.
He does, but he's not a journalist, and he'll never tell you that he is. I do like how he is. I feel like Jimmy is an equal opportunity offender. For instance, you could be anti-Trump and come with us to the Rome Capitol Theater and have a blast watching Jimmy Fallon, because he is an equal opportunity offender, I believe. And he is a hilarious, one of the funniest comedians I've ever seen. And this show is going to be awesome as we celebrate 99 years. Okay, are you ready?
With that.
Are you ready, Wayne?
Yes.
All right. Here's your question. Don't fall for the easy answer. Okay. Here is your question. Name the presidential race that had the closest popular vote in American history. Ready? Go.
I would say the last Trump race.
You're going to say this one?
No,
the
last one?
2020.
The last one.
The one before that? This one. 2020. Wrong. Not even close.
Was it 2004? Was the last time a Republican won the...
Not even close. You would say 2000 Gore Bush. Gore Bush. No. It was actually...
04 was Bush Kerry, but I think...
No, I'm saying in 2000...
Yeah.
It was Gore Bush.
Yes.
Which was the one where the Supreme Court had to get involved. That's number 3 in American history. It was under 500,000 votes decided the presidential race. But the closest of all was in 1960 between John F. Kennedy and Richard M. Nixon. Less than 120,000 votes separated the two of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So your answer should have been
Kennedy?
1960 Kennedy. Go ahead, say it.
1960 Kennedy.
Boom! You got it. Congratulations. We will. Oh, he's a winner. We're going to give you the all-in-one food and fun card. The all-in-one food and fun card. It's a $25 gift card, and it's good all over the Odd and Nexus, 72 Tavern and Grill, Babes, Taylor and the Cook. This is why this is such an awesome gift card for the holidays.
You can use it really anywhere.
You can use it anywhere, including Aquavino. Cookies, Q, and Creamery, and the list goes on. Wayne, go.
From the last election all the way through, I had to listen to my sister, my brother, and my mother do a dance on me like I was in the middle of the street and everybody was looking at me, pushing their finger in my face, and they were the ones with the shotguns.
So you're the only Trump supporter in your family? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how will you return?
My dead father was too, but that's besides the point.
I'm sorry, but how will you return that? Will you do it in a positive way by saying?
I'm going to say nothing because I'm the type of person who will look at you and smile. That's all.
Yeah, just
that smirk.
Just enjoy the victory and move on.
No, his mother's going to know. I know. I see that smirk right off your face.
Oh, they gloat. It's just they gloat so much. It's pathetic. I mean, they go and they put stickers on everything. They just gloat to. It's disgusting. But
well, listen, all will be well. You can have the little smile on your face, but don't rub it in their nose. That's what I would suggest.
No, I just want everything to go right for the United States. I can care less about Democrat, Republican. I just want the right people in. Like, what party is Buttonshine?
She's
a Democrat.
She is a Democrat.
Well, guess what? I voted for her. So,
one of the ones that helped put her over the edge.
I want to tell you that we actually added a Democrat to our area. So you now have Marion Buttonshine. You have Sheriff Mashel, who is a Democrat, who is a very conservative Democrat, I must say. And now you have John Mannion. So, all right, interesting stuff.
I would vote Democrat if it was the right person. I don't vote just because I'm a Republican. I don't vote Republican. I vote for the right person. I just did not feel either Biden or her were the right people. That's all.
Do you think that Biden would have performed better than she did?
No, I don't think either one of them. I think they should have had somebody else that the people could have chosen, and then maybe they would have won.
So to be honest with you, I don't think they could have put anybody in there. People say
Hillary Clinton. Other than Hillary Clinton, who had a shot?
Well, people are saying that Obama's wife may have been. I don't think anybody. I mean, you're coming off an incumbency and a tough time. I don't think anybody could have probably walked away beating Trump. Now, I do think if Nikki Haley was in there, it would have been a landslide victory. That's just my personal opinion. All right,
Cuomo. Do you think Cuomo would have ran? He would have done any good?
He would have won hands down. Stand by, Wayne. Davy's going to hook you up.
Have a good day, guys.
Right, thank you. And by the way, Wayne wins the Food and Fun gift card, and his leaves get taken away. There you go. On the line right now, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the man with the plan. Yes, it's true. He's coming here on December 6th at the Rome Capitol. The one and only Jimmy Fallon.
Wow.
That's an introduction. That's an introduction.
Jimmy, you were keeping me laughing throughout the night with your tweets, man. That was awesome.
That was a hell of an evening. Although I can tell you that nothing I'm doing on December the 6th is going to be as funny as Morning Joe is right now on MSNBC.
Well,
nothing.
Somebody called it on MSNBC. They called it you got to tune in because there's a bedwetting party going on right now. So
it's a very well-dressed group therapy session, but it's fantastic. It's so fantastic. Go ahead.
It is I was just explaining to somebody the other way. You're not going to believe this, but we have a slight controversy with your show.
Oh, really?
There is, and I've heard from the woman, I believe it's only one woman, but she's basically protesting. How could you bring up such a Trump supporter to the Rome Capitol Theater? How could you do this? It is anti-American.
And we're putting lives in danger.
She's planning a protest on you.
The only thing you're putting in danger is like a bunch of chicken riggies.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yes, it's going to be foul.
And your carb count. Yeah,
the chickens are going down for chicken riggies.
Chickens are the Fox News decision desk can project.
So, and what are your thoughts? I mean, here today. I mean, obviously, this country is divided right down the middle. It's unbelievable.
But it's actually not. That's the point. I'm the least surprised person in media. He's going to walk away with over 312 electoral votes.
Yeah.
And he's going to win the popular vote. So he's going to Washington with a major mandate. This is not a 1-point win. It's not you think his win against Hillary, he literally won Wisconsin by less than 10,000 votes.
Right.
His loss to Biden, he literally lost Wisconsin by less than 10,000 votes. He's winning these states now by hundreds of thousands of votes, millions of votes in some cases. People have spoken, and the reason this is a win for all Americans, even if you hate Trump, is people voted in this election based on the issues for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah.
In 2016, you either voted for or against Trump, because you hated his tweets, so you couldn't vote for him, or maybe you hated Hillary Clinton your whole life, so you couldn't vote for her. But we weren't actually talking about issues.
Right.
2020, just the same, okay? Biden called it a battle for the soul of our nation, and obviously Trump was running for re-election, but he was just, defending himself against a lot of salacious character attacks. The thing that made his third election possible, in his eyes, because he's going to claim he's 3-0 now, is that we looked at his first presidency and compared it to the current one.
Right.
And that's what started this ball rolling, meaning Biden staying on the ticket as long as he did allowed this conversation to start getting substantive, and that allowed black men to suddenly come forward, something that was unthinkable in 2020, and go, hey, I'm going to vote for Trump over this Biden guy because the economy was better or because crime was better.
Right.
And that became the conversation. So by the time Kamala got into the race, he had already made those inroads with these other communities that had historically not voted for him. So it was not surprising to me, man. I thought it was going to go this way. I genuinely did.
And I got to say, too, I think, politics are local, right? All politics, whatever that line is. The reality is, I really believe that the bail reform in a lot of these blue states, that and raise the age, all the stuff we're dealing with, the fact that somebody can shoplift at the same place 5 times and still not wind up in jail, that's the local politics that seeped into this national race. The other thing is, I really believe, and you tell me, I'd like your expert opinion, I believe the mistake Democrats made was 4 years ago. You just knew Biden was not the right candidate.
Yeah.
And or maybe it's 2.5 years ago. You knew he was getting older. You knew he was declining. You allowing him, and they could have stopped it, allowing him to run in the first place was the mistake.
Yeah, I mean, because we were watching him glitch out in 2020.
No doubt.
The famous, and that was always an issue. But what happened was the fashion changed. In 2020, you could run for president by saying, I'm not Donald Trump, and that was enough to win. But in 2024, not being Donald Trump was a liability, because Donald Trump had lower unemployment, had a more secure border, had lower crime rates, things you alluded to. They made him possible, by screwing up the country as badly as they did. I mean, understand, right now, as we went to the polls last night, 70% of Americans said we were headed in the wrong direction. Okay, if that was the other way, if 70% of Americans said we were heading in the right direction, there's no chance he wins.
Right.
0.
Yeah.
They made him possible. That coupled with his own persistence. It's a good teachable lesson for everybody listening. Honestly, I don't mean to get all schmaltzy, but everyone listening right now, whatever you want to do in life, take a page out of his notebook, because when he left the White House the last time, the odds of him being president again were lower than the odds of me winning Miss Universe. Okay? and
it could
clear,
be.
We're living in a... we're living in a world where I could be Miss Universe.
You could.
If you really
wanted. You got a kind of nice, pretty look to you. I mean, if you glance, I mean, if you dressed it up and dialed it up,
boots.
I think you'd be okay. You're stylish. You got it going on.
The hourglass figure.
That's the chicken reggies right there.
There it is.
Listen, we specifically, by design, picked a date after the election for you to come up here so that all of this would be over with and you could come in and let's have some fun.
Yes. And honestly, even to the woman listening who thinks I'm the devil, if you're a liberal listening right now, come to the show. I'm not going to attack you. We're not going to alienate you. The whole point of the election, the whole point of my show is to get people back on the same page. I mean, we're all teammates. Regardless of who you voted for. We're all live in the same American locker room for all intents and purposes. So let's all, come have a good time. Watch Jimmy eat himself out of a TV deal. It's going to be great.
We always provide a lot of food.
We don't want to be to blame.
All right, the show is December 6th. It celebrates our 99th birthday here. That's incredible. And you get your tickets by going to RomeCapital.com. Pretty easy. You adding anything?
I just want to say we are very appreciative that you are calling into our show after a very busy long night. And we look forward to 12:06 when the monologue hits.
All right.
Oh, it's coming, baby. This one's for Tim Waltz.
Okay. You're going to coach him today. 12 noon, 12:06 today. Listen to Jimmy and get your tickets. Get them now. $45 seats, a ton of them still available. Take advantage of it at Rome Capital December 6th. RomeCapital.com. Jimmy, as always, thank you.
Rock and roll. You guys are the best.
All right, we'll see you. Listen to you and watch today. Thanks. Jimmy Fallon. And his monologue will be epic today at 12:06.
Very entertaining.
What do you want me to do? Oh, you want me to go there? Okay. The official coffee of this radio program is Daylight Donuts.
And I'm enjoying it this morning. Ooh.
Beef and barley soup on the line. They also have chicken salad served on croissant and bagels.
Croissant.
Avocado toast, the snowflake rolls. You got to order them now for Thanksgiving dinner. This Thanksgiving dinner, you might be throwing them at each other, but still, order them now. Daylight Donuts with a speedy drive-thru in New Hartford.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy semaglutide and Ozempic semaglutide are not compounded.
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs, but too few can access or afford them. Hers is changing that. At forhers.com/radio, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss plans tailored to you, like GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy or oral medications. Through Hers, treatment options can be prescribed 100% online. A medical provider on our platform can determine if a weight loss plan is right for you. And if prescribed, your personalized plan ships free directly to your door, all for as little as $79 a month with a 5-month subscription for oral medications and $199 a month with a 12-month subscription for GLP-1s. No hidden fees, no access fees, and no membership fees. Get started at forhers.com/radio. That's forhers.com/radio. FORH.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square media station.
This is a Fox News alert. Our 45th president will be our 47th. I'm Dave Anthony. That's what Trump supporters chanted, celebrating his election victory.
I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down.
The former president in West Palm Beach, Florida, at about 2:30 this morning.
America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before.
Fox News projects that former President Trump will have 277 electoral votes, more than enough to defeat Vice President Harris, who has not spoken yet. And he leads in 4 states not called yet: Alaska, Arizona, Michigan, and Nevada. The president-elect also won other toss-up states.
In Georgia, Harris was actually down by 8 points from Biden's level back in 2020. The economy still #1 issue for voters across the country, and the president, as in Trump, was seen as the one who had the best chance to make it better for everybody.
That's Fox's Kevin Corke. Fox News voter analysis also shows while Vice President Harris had an 8-point lead among women voters, there was a 10-point Trump edge for men. More voters over the age of 45 went for Trump. And the president-elect had a big advantage among voters without a college degree. And he also had more support among black voters than in the past, up to 15%. Republicans also won control of the Senate in the next Congress, unseating Democrats in Ohio and West Virginia. They lead in 3 other races, including Pennsylvania, where Fox's Jeff Manasso reports.
Republican Dave McCormick here in Pittsburgh telling a joyful crowd that he feels good about where his campaign is and a battle against incumbent Democrat Bob Casey.
And we'll look back on this day today and we'll say that was the day that we turned the corner. That was the day that we had new leadership in Pennsylvania. That was the day that we got our country back on track.
Republicans may also keep the majority in the House. They have 1 more seat so far than Democrats. America's listening to Fox News.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation welcomed U.S. Army Specialist Brent Menard into a new mortgage-free smart home in Florida. Now, while on a road clearance mission in Afghanistan, Brent's vehicle was blown up by an improvised explosive device. Brent became a T4 paraplegic. Tunnel to Towers built him a specially adapted smart home that allows severely injured heroes like Brett to live more independently. We hope you'll donate $11 a month so this great work can continue. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org. You know, the big wireless companies want you to overpay for data that you don't need, but you don't have to settle for that with Pure Talk. Well, you get to choose how much data that you actually want. And for $25 a month, you'll get unlimited talk, unlimited text. You're going to get mobile hotspot, 5 gigs of data. Go with Pure Talk, and you get to choose how much data you actually want. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and if you do it now, you'll save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk.
Again, our top Fox News story. Former President Trump is now our president-elect. He has enough electoral votes projected to defeat Vice President Harris, and he celebrated with a speech in West Palm Beach, Florida, early this morning with running mate J.D. Vance by his side.
We just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America.
He is the first president since Grover Cleveland in 1892 to be elected again 4 years after being voted out of office. A big key to the Trump victory was getting the biggest battleground prize of all the toss-ups, Pennsylvania.
Former President Trump not only has won Pennsylvania, he's won the most votes ever by a Republican candidate here in the Commonwealth, and by the largest margin of victory by a Republican since President Ronald Reagan did it in 1984. With 4% of the vote still needed to be tallied, former President Trump has 3.4 million votes, winning 50.8%, flipping Pennsylvania red. How did he do it? Well, Democrats were touting their ground game and were dependent on running up the score here in Philadelphia, where they were hoping for historic turnout, and that did not materialize. Harris is performing 3 points below what President Biden did in 2020.
That's Fox's Brian Yennis in Pennsylvania. There was also some drama at some polling sites on Election Day. Fake bomb threats.
The FBI believes Russia is behind the hoax bomb threats, which targeted dozens of polling sites across at least 5 swing states: Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. The threats, which appear to originate from Russian email domains, hitting mostly Democratic-leaning areas, such as DeKalb and Fulton counties in Georgia, which have been Democratic strongholds for decades.
That's Fox's Lillian Wu. Other threats were deemed credible. They did disrupt the voting in some cases. On Wall Street, a big post-election rally is brewing. Dow futures up more than 1,300 points. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by Adirondack Home Furniture. Right now, we're at 63 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. A New Hartford police officer has resigned and is in trouble with the law after engaging in alleged revenge porn. On November 4th, 2024, state police arrested 57-year-old Paul Colburn of Utica. The official charge from police is unlawful dissemination of an intimate image. He was ordered back to court on November 12th, 2024. A preliminary investigation revealed Colburn sent sexually explicit photos of him and the victim to the victim's family through text message without their consent. He has resigned from his role with the New Hartford Police Department. According to police, the New Hartford town supervisor has released a statement on the town's Facebook page. You can read it online at WIBX950.com. Folks who live in the 22nd Congressional District will have a new representative come 2025. Democrat and State Senator John Mannion defeated Republican incumbent Congressman Brandon Williams in one of the most expensive political races in the country. Mannion is only the third Democrat in the past 60 years to earn the seat on Capitol Hill. The district covers all of Onondaga and Madison counties, plus portions of Cortland, Oneida, and Cayuga counties. It appears the winner of the 50th State Senate District race won't be determined until a recount is completed. Right now, Democrat Chris Ryan has a slight edge over Republican Nick Parro. Both men are hoping to be the person who ends up replacing John Mannion in Albany. Meanwhile, State Senator Rachel May, Assemblyman Al Sturpey, and Assemblyman John Lamondes all won their respective contests here locally. We saw Brian Miller defeat his Democrat challenger. Joe Griffo defeated his Democrat challenger, and Marianne Buttonshaw declaring victory this morning on First News with Keeler in the morning against her opponent, Republican challenger Christine Esposito. And authorities say the death of social media sensation Peanut the Squirrel sparked bomb threats at New York State Department of Environmental Conservation offices. 10 offices received the threats Monday, including in Tarrytown, New Paltz, Sherburne, Stony Brook, and New York City. DEC workers were given the choice to work remotely, and after state police did not find any explosive, they deemed the threats non-credible. Peanut was confiscated from a home in Chemung County last month and put down after he bit someone so he could be tested for rabies. It is 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. For today, we'll see rain showers, cloudy otherwise with a high in the low 70s. Slight chance of rain overnight, cloudy with a low in the lower 50s. Tomorrow we'll see partly sunny skies with a slight chance of rain showers. A high in the mid to upper 50s. You can always get the full 5-day forecast anytime at WIBX950.com. Right now we have cloudy skies here in Marcy with 63 degrees. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time, 8:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW Nika 43, local contractors. The Giants are thinning their secondary. According to ESPN, the G-Men have released cornerback Nick McLeod. The 26-year-old had been playing on a one-year, $3 million contract as a restricted free agent. He originally joined the Giants after being claimed off waivers from the Buffalo Bills in 2022 and started 16 of the 38 games he played for Big Blue. New York is last in the NFC East at 2-7. They'll face the Panthers of Carolina on Sunday in Munich. The Jets moved on from a disgruntled member of their offense. Gang Green dealt wide receiver Mike Williams to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for a 2025 fifth-round pick. The Jets signed Williams to a one-year, $10 million contract during the offseason. New York is second in the AFC East at 3-6. They'll visit the Cardinals of Arizona on Sunday. The Knicks are adding to their backcourt. According to ESPN, the Knicks have signed guard Boo Buie to a two-way contract. He briefly spent time on the Knicks training camp roster and recently appeared on the training camp roster for Westchester in the G League. New York is second in the Atlantic Division at 3-3 and wraps up its four-game road trip when it visits the Atlanta Hawks tonight. And the Islanders rallied for a 4-3 shootout victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins at UBS Arena. Kyle Palmieri put the Isles on the board with his sixth goal of the season. New York is tied for fifth in the Metropolitan Division with 12 points at 5-6-2. They'll visit the Ottawa Senators tomorrow night. Finally, one more for you. College football is in Week 11. Rutgers is 4-4 after having a bye. Syracuse is hoping to collect its second consecutive victory. The Orange are at 6-2 and will visit the 4-4 Boston College Eagles on Saturday at noon. That's their mascot, right? The Eagles?
Yes, correct.
I know that because B.J. Raji, who was the former defensive player for the Green Bay Packers, was a Boston College alum. And he there's a story that he once signed an autograph, Soar Eagles, and he spelled it S-O-R-E. So there you go.
Okay.
Instead of S-O-A-R.
Not by mistake.
Yeah, probably.
Well, let's hope. I mean, if he did make a mistake, it was a perfect mistake.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Are you done?
I am indeed.
Okay, I want to tell you, in Herkimer County, there is so much going on. It's where history and commerce and beauty collide. If you're looking for something to do, fall is a great time, and I know we're reaching into the Thanksgiving post-election portion of fall, but it's a great time to visit Herkimer County. Give you an idea of what's going on there. Do you know that their farmers market continues down there in the Mohawk Valley? You could take advantage of the Mohawk Valley Community Market, which is at 142 North Main Street in Herkimer, and it happens every Friday going forward, and it's going on right now.
Nice.
Take advantage of it. It's all there. All the things that you can do are right there at experienceherkimercounty.com. It's happening in Herkimer County. It's where history, commerce, and the beauty of nature all exist in Herkimer County. Check it out. experienceherkimercounty.com. We'll go to the phone lines coming up. Also, later on in the hour, Ryan Nobles, who's still up and rolling. He's been up all night, and we're going to get him coming up in a few.
You'll find no shortage of work to do in a New Holland Workmaster or Boomer compact tractor. Available now at Clinton Tractor. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days, or choose cash back on these 24 to 55 horsepower compact and subcompact tractors. Stop into Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Offer ends soon.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Throughout the entire month of November, take $100 off instantly on any 4 installed Bridgestone or Firestone tires, including popular winter tires like the Firestone Winter Force and the Bridgestone Blizzak. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals is ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at TallmansTires.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Utica in the Mohawk Valley. Black Friday is on at Mattress Express. Shop nowhere else. Listen to these deals on select sets of Purple. Save up to $1,000. We have the largest selection of Purple in New York State. Puffy, save up to $1,350. Tempur-Pedic, $500. Sealy, $400. Stearns & Foster, save up to $800. And buy a queen adjustable bed tech base for $999. Get a $500 prepaid Visa card back. How do you beat that? 5 years to pay, no money down for qualified buyers. Want a bed? You can pick the number on each side. The Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, you know it. The Flex Setting King or Queen, reversible cover. Get a $1,000 prepaid Visa card in 5 years. No interest, no money down for qualified buyers. And don't forget, we are open Thanksgiving night for our annual Thanksgiving Day sale. You will get deals Thanksgiving night you will never get the rest of the year. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Medicare Part D open enrollment is now through December 7th. It can be confusing to compare plan coverages, premiums, and deductibles all on your own. Looking for an easier way? Go to KinneyDrugs.com for a free online tool that helps you compare plans based on your specific prescriptions. Or call 844-653-5063 to compare plans and enroll right over the phone. Ask your Kinney pharmacist or visit KinneyDrugs.com.
Lights, camera, music. Sunday, November 10th, the Rome Capitol Theater presents Guitars Along the Mohawk. The afternoon concert begins at 1. A lineup of your favorite local acoustic musicians will perform their original songs for a television production. Guitars Along the Mohawk, Sunday, November 10th at the Rome Capitol Theater. Complete details on the Guitars Along the Mohawk Facebook page and online at RomeCapital.com.
And I want to...
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Shall I talk now? Yeah?
I'm sorry I so rudely interrupted you.
Okay. It's all right. You haven't had any sleep there, Andrew. Zero. Too much celebrating. Interdominio. Portions of the program brought to you by Fred F. Collis & Sons Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. And, man, if you're not taking advantage of this, you are missing out. You can have your home energy efficient, completely improved, and it's possible it won't cost you a penny. And some of it is income related, some is not. Collis has all the information. You could save anywhere between $5,000 and $24,000. And I say save, it might cover the whole project, and you might not have to come up with any out-of-pocket expenses. That is to make your home energy efficient, whether it's insulation or it could be appliances, etc., etc. You know, that old refrigerator that you keep out in the garage or in the basement, it might be really drawing off your electric bill. Replace it, you save a ton of money. These are all options. Let Collis come in and do what they did for us at our home, the free energy assessment. That's the free home energy assessment. They'll come in and go through your home and find out where you might be losing money. Call them today and schedule it. There's no out-of-pocket money. There's no purchase required.
That's awesome.
None of it. 315-860-1301. Fred F. Collis & Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's REXMD.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, one thing to make note of. And Marianne declaring victory this morning on the radio.
Show, yeah.
But I got to say, though, there are, by the number that I'm looking at, there are about 4,000 absentee ballots that are out there. So she's up by 400 votes. That means she really needs to continue that lead with the absentee ballots.
Which, how many? Do we know how many there are?
Yeah, I just said it.
Sorry, I was
4,000.
Wow,
that's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
And when you factor in what's the majority of absentee? The infirm, military, and college kids.
It could be now. You can't say that today. Because there are so many.
It could be any reason.
It could be anybody today.
Okay.
You may just want to get you may just want to not early vote. You may not want to go in person. So you can get an absentee ballot in New York for that reason now.
To make up 400?
There are 4,000. Now, if she continues the pace in the lead, she wins. But that's a lot of votes. She's declaring victory, but let's see where these absentees go. I do want to check in with Jeff Manasso from Fox News Radio. And Pennsylvania, that was the biggie. That was the one swing state everybody was watching. And then when Pennsylvania was called, that was almost it. You just knew Trump was just a few electoral college votes away. Jeff Manasso, how big of a role did Pennsylvania end up playing this year?
It was huge. And the crowd roared here in downtown Pittsburgh, the site of Dave McCormick's election night headquarters, running for Senate against incumbent Democrat Bob Casey. He's on the verge of winning that, at least as we see the numbers coming in. But look, this really was the largest political comeback in U.S. history. How could it not be?
Yeah.
Hispanics showed up. The black vote showed up. The woman vote showed up. Young people, Muslims, Arabs, independents, even Democrats showed up for Donald Trump last night in some numbers. The Amish showed up here in Pennsylvania and other states. Middle America was heard last night as Trump shattered the blue wall. We're still waiting for Michigan. It's looking good for him. And Trump won the most votes ever by a Republican here in Pennsylvania since Reagan.
Wow.
The first Republican to win Miami-Dade County in over 3 decades. He won the popular vote. So the race baiting, the hate, the identity politics play, it didn't work. They tried to hypnotize us into joy. Remember the DNC? It was all about joy. That didn't work. And celebrities, they don't matter anymore. Trump broke them, and he broke the media. And that for years ignored the border crisis and the economy, the number 1, number 2 issues that Republicans, independents, even Democrats had overwhelmingly, and the pain that it was causing us. As they told us that to not believe our lying eyes on many issues that Americans at large are not willing to accept.
Right.
We know that pollsters are terrible. except for a few. And at the end of the day, the Democrats just didn't have a campaign. They certainly didn't have a ground game that they were selling here in Pennsylvania, or a candidate to believe in. And Trump now has a mandate. Those words, Trump has a mandate, I heard on CNN last night.
Of all places, right? Of all places.
Yeah.
So, it is just the fact that he's a former president, loses and then comes back to win again is historic, certainly in modern times.
Well, I mean, if you like him or not, what he's been through, what his family's been through, the 2 impeachments, the legal stuff, the assassinations attempts. That's enough for your average person to say, I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just getting away from it. The stock market likes it, by the way, guys. Now future up over 1,000. Yeah. The China yuan stock market, they're falling sharply. By the way, the border just got safer. I just heard from my colleague, Bill Malushin, who's been covering the border for the better part of 4 years, saying that his phone has been blowing up by Border Patrol agents saying that we're locked and loaded. We are now going to protect this border without fear of retribution by the government. Right. And that's probably one of the first calls that Trump is going to make. Protect the border. I'll protect you once I'm in office.
And this is going to be really, when you think about we oftentimes in America, when an election occurs, you see changes. There's a very good chance he'll have control of the House and the Senate, and you're talking about sweeping changes. We may see changes in Israel. Certainly, you can expect to see changes, I would expect, in Ukraine, the border, and other things. But those two alone have implications around the world.
A lot of this is really pragmatic stuff. Yep, foreign policy definitely going to be affected. We'll see some change probably, very soon. But the things that make sense, I think, to most Americans is RFK Jr. getting on. They called him a conspiracy theorist, but he's right. Our food is poisoning us, and it is killing us. Yeah, and there's a relationship between big ag and big pharma that needs to go. And this is not my opinion. It's just fact. And I think if we're all honest, we know that there needs to be a change. And so there's some excitement there, I think, by the majority of the electorate that there's going to be an effort to get us healthy again. So, guys, I got to run. I've got another hit, but enjoy your, what is it, Wednesday? Enjoy your Wednesday. Enjoy watching.
It feels like Tuesday night still, Jeff.
Yeah, all right.
Enjoy watching The View, because I know you're going to. And you guys have a great day.
All right, have a great one.
Everybody's talking about that.
Have a great day. Jeff Manasso celebrating today. I'm not sure I'm with him on the Kennedy thing, and not sure I'm there, and I'm not sure how much. And to be honest with you, I think it was Trump himself that said, "We'll see how much we give to."
Yeah, I think
Robert Kennedy Jr.
He's allowing him to handle possible food, health situations.
I'd be careful there. The guy is a conspiracy theorist, and I don't know that we're poisoning our people. Our farmers are poisoning our people. I don't agree with those things. However, he says he'll immediately take fluoride out of the water. I don't think any of these things are going to happen that quickly, but we will see. I think the place to look is Ukraine. That will be the first big move that you're going to see, and the world is going to see a change after this election.
It'll be interesting to see when Zelensky says more than a congratulatory message. He said it very quickly around 2:30, 2:45 in the morning. Be interested to see what Zelensky has to say further about the results.
We'll break, and coming up, we'll speak with Ryan Nobles from NBC. Oh, quickly, can I squeeze in just quickly? Jeremy Rosenthal with the Rosenthal Report.
The Rosenthal Report.
Do you have any sound effects? Yeah. Good morning, Jeremy.
Whoa, Bill.
Oh, I hit the wrong line. All right, what do you want, Stefan? Good morning.
Well, I was at the 72 last night at that watch party with Marianne Buttonshon, who won, and Griffel's opponent, James Myers, and those people. And we watched the results come in, and Marianne Buttonshon looks like the winner right now. And John Mannon won last night.
Yeah, that's true. Mannion with a big win. Yeah.
And also, I called the Capitol Theater, and I got a ticket to Jimmy Fallon's show.
Oh, yeah, you did.
All right. Go to Capitol Theater, RomeCapital.com, I should say.
Yes.
RomeCapital.com and get your tickets. Our 99th birthday celebration, and Jimmy Fallon, one of the funniest stand-up acts you're ever going to see, is on the stage. Come on out and get your tickets, and get them now. $45 seats all over the place in the theater, and we may be releasing some really great seats coming up on, is it Black Friday that's coming up?
Oh, yeah.
It is. All right, Stephen, thanks. I got a break. Thank you.
Bye, Bill.
Last night, Showtime played at Griffo's event.
I'm really sorry I missed it.
I got a break, and we'll do the Rosenthal report.
Okay, so we better take it quick because he's got to be out at
8:32.
Okay. Lightning round.
You're telling me to continue. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Jeremy Rosenthal with the Rosenthal report.
Rosenthal report.
Good morning.
You've got the music back. I love it. Yeah, a lot to unpack here. Did anything happen over the last day that you want to talk about? Anything?
I don't think so. It's been very quiet.
Very boring.
In the news. Yeah.
Okay.
Not much happening here. Whoa. I mean, really. there are, like, our man Andrew here has not even been to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long night. What will happen to Trump's legal issues following this election?
They go away for the most part. It's just kind of a question of how. The New York case, that's the hard one. The federal cases, he can pull the plug on those. He can terminate Jack Smith. It's a little trickier than just that. But I think that once he pulls the plug there, like I said, a little tricky. You got to have cause to fire a special prosecutor, but I think that's something that gets fought in the courts later if that happens. Joe Biden could extend him an olive branch and pardon him. That could happen, particularly. And I'm not a politician, but if Trump wins a mandate of the vote, then there's a political reason for Biden to do that. Trump would have to accept the pardon, which is another story, right? It's a little bit of an admission of guilt.
Okay.
In New York State, though, he's facing sentencing on November the 26th. That one's a little tricky. The judge has a lot of discretion there to do sort of whatever he wants, including putting Trump in jail for up to 20 years. Now, I don't know that it's a really bright move to jail the leader of the free world in 2 months to do that. But there's a lot of other options that are probably going to happen.
One would think this all really, ultimately, in maybe a messy way, maybe a quiet way, but it's all going to have to go away, right?
In some shape or form, yes. Now, one thing that the New York judge could do is he could probate Trump's sentence, say, all right, Mr. Trump, I'm going to probate this sentence for 8 years, 10 years, something like that. Come back and see me on January the 21st, 2029, or whatever it's going to be, right? He can do that. Be a good boy. We're going to piss test you in the White House, and and we're going to make you take online anger management, from the Oval Office. These are the types of things that you do while you're on probation. Probably not. Probably what's going to happen is the judge will either authorize an appeal, which the judge has to do in New York State. The judge can hit you on the head with a frying pan and say, you're convicted, now get out of my life. That's a very real possibility here. Or the judge could, like I say, he could probate the sentence.
Yeah.
In theory, he could put him in the can. No reason to think that's going to happen.
Yes, interesting to watch. One of the many very interesting moves. I can't remember a presidency where we are anticipating more change than this one. Really quite amazing. Topic number 2, Elon Musk. This turned out to be a real dud situation. It wasn't a contest after all, or was he just covering himself? What came out of this?
So what happened in this one was the raffle giveaway, right, is you if you're a registered voter, you have to sign up a petition that says I support America or something like that, right? I mean, probably not much of a petition, but the winner would get $1 million. Two things happened. The Justice Department said, hey, we think you're paying people to register to vote. It's kind of like when you go to the ball game and it's bobblehead night, and all you got to do is give us your credit card information, and we give you a bobblehead, but you got to buy a ticket first. Are we really selling tickets here? Yeah, it's real estate.
What do they call that? Tandem? It's in tandem. I forget, but there is a difference between the two. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really. I mean, you're shaving your ice really thin there.
Yes.
What Pennsylvania said was, regardless, you're holding your own little lottery, and you can't do that. We have elections on that, and those things are regulated. Musk's lawyers came back and said, no, we have predetermined the winner, which is not what they advertised to the public, right? So we'll see where that one lands. An interesting point, probably going to be moot, but we'll see if the Justice Department cares about it or not, and then we'll see if Donald Trump appoints an attorney general who says, Elon, don't worry about it.
Yeah, the whole thing was a bit of a sham, if you will, more of a
publicity stunt.
I guess. But is anybody going to care going forward at this point? Probably not. Topic number 3, Trump suing CBS because he says, for $10 billion, by the way, he says they doctored the Harris 60 Minutes interview. They deny this vehemently. Where is this going?
Also nowhere.
Yeah.
This was, I think, probably more for the news cycle than anything else. That would be like somebody suing you guys for saying that you guys were trying to help a particular candidate through your opinions or whatever. A lot of First Amendment problems there. And not only that, but Donald Trump was claiming as his punitive damages, you're going to cause me to lose this election.
Right, a little late.
And we got a little problem with that argument.
The reality is they edit every interview, and is it possible that the person editing may have a political favorite and may subconsciously or consciously do something to tweak something one way or the other? I guess that's absolutely possible and probably does happen, but at the end of the day, free speech probably takes the cake here. So, all right, there we go with the Rosenthal Report.
The Rosenthal Report.
Have
a great one. Thank you,
Jeremy.
All right, Jeremy. Thank you so much. Got a break. Coming up, Ryan Nobles from NBC.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Oh, you've seen these before. Would you rather run a marathon or change a flat tire in 20 below? Next one. Would you rather save for college through a 529 or through a custodian brokerage account? Lee Baldwin & Company can't help you change a tire, but they can help you find out about the ABCs of investing for your kids. Lee Baldwin & Company. Find your investment answers at investtoday.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
When was the last time you detoxed your body? If you're like most people, the answer is probably never. If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, headaches, bloating, and skin irritation, then those are all telltale signs. So how do you detox your body? Well, you can add saunas or juice fasts, but what you really need is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver makes it easy to help your liver detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or Meijer, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Black Friday is on at Mattress Express. Take 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers. Save up to $1,000 on select Purple sets, $500 on Tempur-Pedic, $400 on Sealy, and $1,350 on Puffy. Shop nowhere else.
Hi, it's James.
And Megan from Destination Kia of Utica.
And one of the best things about being a family-owned local business
is that we get to give back thanks to our customers.
And we're going to have some fun doing it with our Kooky Charity Challenge. Here's how it works.
Puppies and babies not included. I've said it hundreds of times, but now we want you to say it.
Team up with a local charity or youth sports team and upload a creative video saying our tagline. The top vote getters will share in $20,000 in donations.
And be featured in hundreds of commercials. Go to DestinationKiaofUtica.com for all the info.
Supporting the community and giving local, now that's kooky!
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
See rules at DestinationKia.com. No purchase necessary. No prizes. These are charity donations and sponsorships only.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Throughout the entire month of November, take $100 off instantly on any 4 installed Bridgestone or Firestone tires, including popular winter tires like the Firestone Winter Force and the Bridgestone Blizzak. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals is ready to serve you. Schedule your appointment today online at TallmansTires.com. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Get the best tires for your vehicle at unbeatable prices guaranteed.
Hey, if you're looking for a wonderful celebratory, or maybe it's a sad meal for you today, depending on the election. Either way, great food, comfort food, wonderful food makes it all either so much better or makes you feel better. Does that make any sense at all? I'm talking about Tony's Pizzeria's buffet. It's an Italian buffet, and it's wonderful. Now, somebody said, I just can't eat that much food. Listen, buy it for one person and take it home. Say you're elderly and I can't eat that much. So you go in, you buy it, and you take it out. You take it home. You get lasagna, maybe. You get some salad. You get whatever it is on the menu. Maybe you want the pork tenderloin, which is amazing. Then you heat it up at home, and you serve it family style, and you and your significant other enjoy a wonderful meal that costs you $15.95. That's the buffet, the Italian buffet at Tony's in Washington Mills. You can eat in or take out. $15.95 a person, $9.99 for kids 5 to 10. Kids under 5 are free. And if you're in a workplace, they'll bring it all to you. Tell them how many people. They'll get everything together and bring it to you. Call 315-737-9172. And amazingly wonderful, from salads and soups, desserts, and awesome food. It's the Italian buffet at Tony's Pizzeria in Washington Mills.
Keeler in the Morning invites you to connect with us through telephonic communication at 315-736-0186. Or use the Call Us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Portions of the program brought to you by Steve Ponte Mazda, winning races and building award-winning vehicles for over 100 years.
Yeah.
The Mazda.
Yeah.
And right now, Steve Ponte Mazda, you can drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-30 SE model for only $269 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with 0% or 0.9% APR financing on select new 2024 Mazdas. See Steve Ponte Mazda for details. Rick says this: let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it is always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Ryan Nobles from NBC. Ryan's pulled an all-nighter. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. I assume you want to talk about the election and the overwhelming victory for Senator Joe Griffo. Is that where you want to go?
That's where we're going.
It was a landslide, Ryan.
Interesting. We have still one race where it's razor thin, a 400-vote lead by Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw. And there are 4,000 absentee ballots. She's declared victory this morning, but she needs to keep pace when they're counting these absentee ballots. 4,000 of them.
How do the absentee ballots usually break in a certain direction, or do they usually follow what the results already were?
In this, I believe, and I'll say this, all bets are off, because the way it's done now in New York, anybody can do an absentee ballot. You don't have to be out of town or in the hospital.
It used to be like military and college kids, and you know. But now it's anybody's game.
Okay, Ryan, your thoughts on, listen, I'm hearing everything from close to the pollsters had it to the pollsters didn't, to Jeff Manasso from Fox News, who's saying this is a mandate for Donald Trump. Where do you come in, and what are you hearing out there?
Well, I think it's hard to describe it as anything but. Donald Trump is going to comfortably win the popular vote. He's going to be the first Republican president to do that since George W. Bush did in 2004. He's going to be north of 300 electoral votes when the counting is all said and done. He carried with him a whole group of Republican senators to take control of the United States Senate, and there's a very good chance that they take back the House as well. And it was all Donald Trump's brand of politics that led Republicans to this promised land. And I, as you know, in this program, have been really skeptical that he had a winning message for quite some time. In fact, that it seemed like election cycle after election cycle, it was difficult for the MAGA brand to win outside of Republican primaries. And he proved everybody wrong last night. This win cut across demographic lines. It cut across age. If you look, I don't know if you've watched Steve Kornacki's breakdown of it at all.
Yeah, I like him. He's good.
Yeah, but he's pointing out that the difference in vote in blue states is pro-Trump. New Jersey, I think, only ended up being a 5-point spread. In New York, Harris is only going to win by 10 points. That's normally a state that votes for the Democrat, 18 to 20 points.
Right.
He literally improved in every possible place that he could improve. And I think that we underestimate Donald Trump at every turn. Every time we think that he has reached the maximum, that he's reached the ceiling of his vote-getting potential, he finds a new frontier. This time it's Latino men. He's going to win Latino men by 10 points. Well, who would have ever predicted that? And I think it's going to lead to a reckoning and a wake-up call for the Democratic Party. I think Democrats have for far too long overlooked and did not spend enough time trying to understand the plight of rural and working-class Americans. And they are now paying the price for that. And maybe it's a cultural problem, maybe it's an economic problem, maybe it's all of the above. But the Democrats are not going to turn this tide and overcome this ball rolling down the hill that keeps getting bigger in the form of Donald Trump unless they do some serious soul searching.
The other thing this really tells you is it's really simple, isn't it? It's not about how the economy compares to the rest of the world. It's not about, gas prices aren't that high. It's only about how people feel. And really, it's the average American. It's the middle class plays such and not just middle class, but even the lower middle class. It played such a huge role, not only in this, but it's the reason why Donald Trump beat every other Republican to become the nominee. It wasn't the Republican elites. It was the everyday American Republican who looked to Donald Trump. and that's what did it. But it all comes back to, how do you feel? Do you feel better today than you did 4 years ago?
Yeah,
and
people vote with their wallets. What do you do?
What he's really done, which even I admit to not giving him enough credit for, what he's really done is he's created a completely independent political movement of any political party.
Yeah.
He used the vehicle of the Republican Party to create this, but the Republican Party of 2024 is not the Republican Party of 2004, the last time they won a popular vote.
Right.
This is made up of, these are not country club Republicans that are running this party anymore.
No.
It's union workers. I mean, the fact that he was able to keep the Teamsters from endorsing in the race for president. Mm-hmm. When has the Teamsters ever sat out a race for president? That's an indication that their membership had come around to his way of thinking. His foreign policy is dramatically different than any prior Republican president Republican administration.
And we're going to see that immediately. I assume.
Oh, immediately. Yeah. I mean, Richard Engel's here with us this morning at Studio 1A, and he was talking about it, about how already world leaders are wondering what's going to happen next. Mm-hmm. You notice that Vladimir Zelensky, he was one among the first world leaders to wish Donald Trump congratulations, because he knows how much his future is contingent on this America First policy, and it truly, that is going to be what is going forward. They're not going to worry about the rest of the world. They're it's an isolationist type policy, and you can not like it. You can say that's not the way that America's conducted itself on a world stage, but Donald Trump made that argument to the American people. He was not shy about it, and the American people chose him. So he's now going to get the next 4 years to continue on this agenda that he started previously. And the difference between 2017 and 2025 is that he's going to start right with a group of people that are ultimately loyal to him.
Right off the bat.
And not a group of politicians from the establishment class that he didn't really have relationships with. So it's going to be a lot different right from the start.
As you'll see, the Mitch McConnells of the world begin to fade because they no longer have the power that they once had.
Or get on board, right?
Or get on board. On board.
And I think that's the overwhelming message here, is that Republican Party is dead. The party of Liz Cheney is dead. She had her last gasp. She went and did a bunch of events with Kamala Harris, and it led to absolutely no votes. And so this is, if you are going to be a Republican for the foreseeable future, maybe forever, you have to come away around to Donald Trump's thinking. If you don't, you might as well find a different line of work.
Do something else.
I agree.
Let me say this though: if that means you cannot assess. Like, just look at really what happened last night. You were dealing with a good 20% of Republicans, establishment Republicans, longtime conservatives, people like. We had Ray Meyer here locally, who came out and said, "Stay away from this guy. The way he handles himself, it is not presidential. You cannot vote for Donald Trump." Liz Cheney as well. You have that. You have a whole bunch of new young voters that were being recruited to vote. You had abortion on the ballot. All of these things, conventional wisdom would tell you. Trump doesn't have a chance, but you cannot look at politics the way we looked at it prior to 2016. It just doesn't work.
Bill, I think one of the most remarkable things that happened last night was that abortion was on the ballot in like 8 states.
Yeah.
And in almost every one of those states, the abortion measure passed, a measure to codify and protect abortion rights. Donald Trump won all those states.
He won those states.
All of them.
Yeah.
That was almost
went into the voting booth. They voted for him, and then they voted for a policy that he diametrically opposes. Explain that to me. It shows that it's different. He's in a different plane than any other politician that we've ever dealt with.
Well, because no other
same category as Barack Obama, and it's only the two of them right now.
No other candidate could accomplish this. Yeah, but he doesn't really mean that. He said that, but he doesn't really mean that, and that's how you can vote. That's how you can vote to protect abortion and vote for Trump, even though at some point he said women should be punished. He doesn't really mean that. And that is a gift I've never seen a politician have.
Well, and that's the ironic part about this, is that through the campaign, he was saying that in his mind, everybody wanted Roe overturned, and in a way, that's what happened in overturning Roe versus Wade. It did bring it back to the states, and essentially allowed for, whether he's for it or not, really, it allowed for people in those states to decide while also voting for him. It's just really ironic.
Ryan, Mike says Trump is not a Republican; he is a populist. How do you answer that? How do you respond to that?
Well, I mean, that might be true. I think he is a populist, but he owns the Republican Party. He defines what the Republican Party is now.
Right.
I think that the thing that people need to understand is Republican is not a characteristic. Republican is the name of a group of people who operate underneath that banner. It's different than conservative. It's different than liberal. It's different than, socialist, for instance. He's a Republican because he runs and is a member of the Republican Party. The way he conducts business, his political philosophy is not Republican. Those are two different things. And as it stands right now, he is what a Republican is in this era of modern American politics.
Some would say maybe he saved the former idea of what the Republican Party was.
Oh, I don't know if that is. He reinvented the Republican Party.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
maybe he saved the party, but he reinvented. I'll let you answer that.
Well,
right?
he recruited a whole group of voters who were never active in the elections process. These are people that never cared about politics, didn't think that politicians spoke to them, that didn't ever even care about it. And they became guys that were wearing MAGA hats, flying flags out of the beds of their pickup trucks, tailgating at football games with his T-shirts on their chests. These were all guys that politicians wouldn't waste their time with. And he found an unbelievably fertile and powerful voting bloc there that has now become a force that is going to be that Democrats are going to have to reckon with forever, because Democrats never tried to engage or talk to that group of people either. And the main group I'm talking about is young men.
Yeah.
And I originally, a week ago, I would have told you young white men, but this is
Hispanics, blacks.
You look at and he won the Hispanic vote. He certainly did better with African Americans than any Republican has done in a really long time. And the through line is the working class, the working and middle class. Those were people that have long felt that the American political class has overlooked them. And, that used to be a group of reliable Democratic voters. When my dad used to go in the voting booth as a union teacher, would cast a ballot for every Democrat because that was the party of the working man. My union carpenter grandfather told me he voted Democrat because that was the party of the working man. Donald Trump has now claimed that for the Republican Party.
Which is if you thought 2016 was a sweeping change, put your seatbelt on, because it's about, because the reality is now set in. And you really have to, if you're a Democrat, you really have to, because the days of the party elite saying, here's how we're going, this is the direction we're going in, those days have just ended. And Donald Trump proved it last night.
Yeah. And I have to say, obviously there's a lot to talk about with Donald Trump, but I do not think that we can overlook just how far gone the Democrats are here and how they need to reorient their approach. That they just so totally missed the way the transgender issue has cropped up across this country. And I know it's sensitive and I know it's difficult to talk about, but they didn't want to confront it. They didn't want to address it in any sort of meaningful way. And they let Donald Trump and his Republican allies beat them over the head for the last 6 months. And I think that resonated with independent and moderate voters who just don't know which direction everything is heading culturally. They're uncomfortable with it. They want someone to help them through it. And in many ways, Democrats just look down on people who have any sort of viewpoint that's different than their own. And Donald Trump took advantage of that. And I'm not saying he did it in good faith, but he did it. And a lot of people responded to that.
Ryan, it's a swing of the pendulum. It's going to be very interesting to see what Trump says. He'll be the unifier. I hope that's true. But this pendulum not only swung, but it I think it just tipped over. It's a good
way to describe it.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting stuff. Obviously, you're going to need some time to get that voice back. We appreciate you coming with us here this morning, Ryan. Thank you.
All right. I'll be on today's show in 8 minutes.
All right. All right.
Go Bills.
Right.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. Go Bills. All right, guys.
Thanks. Ryan Nobles from NBC. Wow. I want to tell you, if after all of this, you feel like you need a new family doctor, I knew I had to make some transition. After all of this, you need someone who's going to be thorough, who's going to really, really look at your issue and put you on the road to recovery, if you will, or find out what's going on. It's the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Call them today at 315-507-4751. I was there yesterday with Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski. They are now accepting new patients. I highly recommend them. They're tremendous. The area's only premier osteopathic clinic, and they really can help you. Call today at 315-507-4751, 315-507-4751, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. News is next, followed by Kilmeade on WIBX.
Scott and Jill here from New York Sash to tell you about our $25,000 home improvement giveaway.
You can enter to win $25,000 in new windows, siding, bath, or doors professionally installed by New York Sash. And we'll pick the winner live at the 2025 Home Show at the Nexus Center this February.
Just think about all the home renovations you can do with $25,000. Gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, stunning vinyl siding, a new bath remodel, or an entry door.
One lucky homeowner in Central New York will win, so why not you? There's no purchase necessary, but you have to be in it to win it.
So enter the $25,000 home improvement giveaway today at NewYorkSash.com/win. That's NewYorkSash.com/win, or enter in person at our showroom at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro.
And you can be the